What's going on, everybody? It's the Pre-Patch Podcast, and we're a little late, and it's my fault. You can blame me. It's fine. I'm a perfectionist.
All right.
I'm a perfectionist, and it's all my fault. That's fine. I still haven't even gotten you guys pulled up chat, so I apologize. It's it is the way of the world. But
We're all here, though.
take a look at the new screen. I'm just saying, this is why I'm a perfectionist.
Really quickly. Nobody panic. Nothing has changed.
It's I just want to say this is what I've been working on. This is what made us a little bit late, getting some new images put up, cameras rearranged, all of that good shit. So I'm just saying it was for you, chat. It was for you and our video listeners. If you're an audio listener, well, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to deal with the sultriness of our voice, but technically we're not late for you.
Or start showing up live.
Yeah,
you know what though?
Where
I
you
got
at?
it on full screen, and I'm seeing little imperfections here and there. So
No, the fuck you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I am.
You can't.
Hey,
What?
and I don't know if you've noticed, but
Dimensions and lengths. They're little.
What? What?
and Scruffy's camera goes over the image just by like a couple pixels on like it to the left, like the corners
Where?
don't match
Yep,
up. So.
Where?
And Enigma's right side of his camera does not line up with your right side of your camera. I'm
Oh,
just
that's
saying.
true too.
Hold
Yep,
on.
yep,
I
yep,
swear to
yep,
I
yep,
did it.
yep.
Oh my god, dude! I sat here for so long. Okay, I will stop the show right now. I will, in the middle of the show, do editing.
Stop.
All right, that's it. No, I'm
Please
editing.
stop.
I'm gonna host and
You
edit
guys
at the
know
same
how
time.
bad he is.
No, I'm editing at the same time. So, guys, welcome to episode 132. We're gonna do a little bit of editing here, so we're gonna make Enigma just a tad bit bigger on the
You
side.
guys know how bad he is when it comes
Oh,
down
yeah.
to this kind of shit.
And this
Okay.
is why I did it. This is
There, I don't know if that's maybe a little bit better. I don't know.
Low key though looks fire.
Yeah,
It
Well done.
does.
Well
I
done.
like it. It's a
we
fun
will-
look.
We will smooth out some of the little edges. But in any case, welcome in everybody. I hope you guys are here and enjoying the show. We've got quite a bit to talk about. New games to talk about. News. I don't know, man. Like I need the gaming industry to like start like spicing some shit up because this is
Right?
dull. This is
Yeah,
some
man,
dull
seriously.
as fuck. But we've got quite a bit. We do have some news. We've found some stuff that we wanted to talk about. I think it's gonna be a good
Scraping
show.
the bottom of the barrel, man,
Yeah,
with some of
yeah.
this stuff.
But do you want to welcome back Bill and Scruffy?
Hey.
They were gone for a little bit. You know, Bill was on his bi-weekly hiatus, you know, that he has to take for work, which is completely understandable. And Scruffy's back from vacation, should be fully rested.
Yeah, dude.
and
Hey, how was
dude,
vacation, by the way?
Dude, it took it out of me, bro. It was just nonstop, day and night, waking up super early, going to bed super late. It was a lot of fun, but I was wrecked. And bro, I went surfing for the first time.
Ooh,
I surfed.
Yeah?
It was cool.
hell yeah,
it was
dude.
so it was
That's
awesome,
impressive.
man.
I've
I
never gotten a chance.
Radical, bruh.
ate shit most 90% of the time, but I can say I did ride a single wave and was able to stand up and fucking, it was radical. It was
Nice.
to be
Do it,
bro.
dude. Let's
Yeah,
go.
dude.
Radical,
Yeah.
bruh.
I would love to do it again, given the chance. It is a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Also, for those that are watching currently live, I'm sorry. The podcast title says "Stilly Bobby's World." It's been fixed. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh my
sorry.
God, we're editing. So we're just okay. So this entire show is gonna be an edit podcast. Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and edit Bill's camera.
right.
No, I'm just kidding. But in any, you know what? One thing that we never talked about, and I do think we need to talk about this because you know how we're saying like we're joking around about editing and all of those kind of things, but we actually did. Well, actually, I don't know. You guys may have talked about it during my hiatus, but you know we did a thing with a company called Minvo. Did you guys talk about this? Did you guys promote this?
I think we mentioned it. Did we?
I don't remember. I think we mentioned it, but I don't know
Okay,
if that was
well,
when you were
I don't know
gone.
in which regards to Minvo. There's a few things that we've done with them. So go ahead though.
You
and
should
speak.
go. So anyway, we all kind of Bill and Enigma did a live stream with them where they talked about Minvo and a product that we actually use. We're not sponsored, by the way. This is not Ape. This is not like an ad for them or anything. We just use their product, you know, and all the time. And so we were asked to like, hey, like, do you want to be on a show? And we did a couple of videos for them, myself and Enigma, talking about like how we got the podcast started and all of that kind of stuff. So if you ever want to see any of those type of things, you can head over to Minvo. It's Minvo if I'm not mistaken. And
Yep.
their channel and go check out those videos that showcase us talking about podcasting. So yeah. So again, just wanted to plug that, like, you know, something that we did was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was a really fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
Absolutely.
really awesome to work with.
Turned out
All right.
really good.
All right, you fuckers ready to talk about video games? Because I'm ready to talk about video games.
Well,
I guess, man.
Gotta do the goddamn
Just
thing.
Yeah.
transition into it, bro.
Yeah, well, I am. I plan on it. I'm just saying, like,
What a
we're gonna
segue.
we're gonna talk about video fucking games, and one of the video games that we played, or I played at least. I'm actually I'm a little late to the party. This game came out whenever I was first, like I was on my kind of break, and so I wanted to play it, right, and I actually titled the name of my stream "We Play Bad Games."
Okay.
Okay.
So low expectations, right?
So I went into this with like nothing. I was just like, this is going to be bad. Like, I've not heard anything good. Like, I just was not really feeling it at all. But I was like, you know what? I got it. I'm going to try it. Full disclosure, I got the game for free. Like, I did not pay a dime for it. So, yeah.
Hashtag sponsored. No.
I'm not sponsored. No, it's not sponsored.
What game is this? that
Yeah,
we
what
are-
game is
So
this?
this is
talking
this is Flintlock. The Siege of Dawn is the name of the game.
No.
So,
I'm watching these little squirrels just jump
Yo, dude,
around
yeah,
and
shit.
stuff.
Just
So,
like
okay,
yeeting
so
itself off the cliff.
full transparency of what the
I
game
wasn't
is,
sure
right?
if there were pets before or
That-
first.
So it just so this is a god, and it randomly will do that by a cliff. Like, you play as this as a basically this person. I don't know if it's like in the 1800s or around that time frame, but you kind of, that's what you're expecting, right? It's like the old, you're using flintlock muskets and guns like
Yeah,
that,
like
so you can kind of assume it's
revolutionary
old
era.
school. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole concept here is that basically there is these gods, and it's basically you up against magic, and you pissed off one god got pissed off and is starting to destroy gunpowder because, well, gunpowder can really affect the gods. Like, that's the way to kill the gods and beat the gods and all of that kind of stuff.
That's hilarious. I don't know why.
so
That's such a funny
That's
concept to
fucking
me.
awesome.
That's
So it's America. It's
You beat me
America
to
against the
it.
gods.
Yeah.
kinda-
You beat me to it the American way. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So yeah,
Wow.
so it is like I said, so that's the premise of the game. You are imbued with magical powers because you survive, and you come across this like fox squirrel thing that really loves jumping off cliffs. Like, it will just yeet itself off the side of a fucking cliff. But it will magically pop up and appear. And basically this god like imbues you with magical powers that you can, do, like where you can summon the god to attack certain beings, you can or enemies. You can have it like go up in the air and like stun them, and they'll float for a little while. Or you get to do like an ultimate attack when the little diamond over in the far right hand corner fills up and you've done enough damage. You will be able to do this ultimate attack, which basically like electricity and shit just shocks everything around you. Kind of cool. So okay.
Yeah.
The story, don't give two fucks about. Like, I
Yeah.
could care less about the
Oh, I mean,
story.
it's you
Not too
playing a
into it.
game, so nobody's surprised.
Even dude, you know what? I sat through all the fucking cutscenes. I didn't skip one fucking piece of dialogue. I watched it all.
Still
I'm a
don't give a
story
fuck.
buff. I honestly think that story concept sounds like trash.
It's not great, right? The story is, I don't
Yeah.
think, is very compelling.
Yeah,
But
from what
what's-
I've heard with the
So
with
is-
Flintlock, like that was the biggest thing with Flintlock was like it didn't do well when it first released. Granted, it's not an old game; it's relatively new.
Yeah, it's still new.
But
Right,
from
it's still new.
what I've heard, a lot of people have said that the dialogue, the story is not super intuitive or amazing. So
So now,
it's
is
not-
there another forward drive to actually want to play this game? Then, is there anything good about it?
Yes. So it is a Souls like, right? It is very
Mhm.
reminiscent. Like
Uh-huh.
you just saw, so like you go and you rest at
That
like
was the bonfire.
at bonfires. Well, quote unquote bonfires. They're these like lodestones, or I forgot what they call them, but they're these basically spots that you sit down and you'll load into, and it resets the world. It lets you get your health back and all these other kind of things. And there's big bosses that you fight. It can be a little bit difficult or unforgiving if you don't perform combos appropriately or whatever. But here's the thing that I actually think the game does well. Like, the combat feels good. Like, I don't feel inhibited by what I'm doing. It plays good. It plays well on a mouse and keyboard. I actually love the platforming in this quite a bit. Like, it really lends itself because like you basically have almost 3 sets of jumps. So you have your normal jump, your double jump, and then you can kind of like launch yourself with an ability that lets you kind of project yourself forward. So you have a lot of cool spots that you can get to, and the game actually pretty much says like, hey, if you can kind of reach it, you can get up there. And there's actually
Do
secrets
they
in a lot of
reward
places.
you? I was
Yeah,
about to say, how
there's-
rewarding is it to actually
they-
go and look for all this
so
stuff?
so for instance, spoiler alert, I mean this is a very 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 early part of the game, right? But this mountain that you're looking at the very tip of it, you can actually like parkour yourself up there, and there is an item up there. You know, it could be just as simple as like a skeleton, it could be you know, crafting materials, or it could be like something that you actually need, like a not need, but a grenade, or an upgrade to your flask, if you want to call it like an essence flask, all of that kind of stuff.
Well, that's good. Games like this definitely need that sort of
We,
aspect.
We're going from flintlocks and black powder to grenades on top of mountains. Like that's a
yeah,
thing.
yeah. So you're also seeing here where like I'm unlocking these like travel beacons or travel triangles. Essentially it is using the god to traverse the world. And the other thing I like about this too is it doesn't limit you on where you can like go. Like I am in an area I am not supposed to be in. Like I clearly figured that out whenever I started to fight one of the bosses. I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here yet. Of course my stubborn ass died and was like, no, fuck that. I'm not leaving until I do defeat what I'm here.
No way.
And I
The
did.
true way.
I did. But you know, you unlock these villages, which then kind of push the rebel, or like the force that you are against. Cause basically there are people that are like for like this alliance. It almost sounds like against Star Warsy, but like, it's like for the rebellion and against the empire. It's kind of the same principle. Like it's people that are for the gods and people that are against the gods. There are really cool enemies types. Like you have humans, and just in the first like hour and a half, I witnessed enemies, I witnessed like humans, birds, you know, like people that were throwing like venom at me, like a lot of different enemy types. So like all in all, like I honestly, the game's not terrible. The story sucks, but like the game itself and gameplay and having fun, I was having quite a bit of fun with it. Like I
Are there
actually
different weapon types and stuff?
yeah. So there's also like you have different hatchets. You can equip 2 different weapons at a time. And then you have your pistol, but you'll also have like a flintlock musket that you can pull out. The loot system has you know, different tiers. You can add affixes like flames to it. Some of it will have like electricity and soul and other types of damage.
Is that like Dark Souls, where it's like you use like a item or something to imbue it?
No. So like
Or
I found
is it
an
actually
axe.
like a permanent like
Yeah, it's a permanent
like
thing.
a
I
permanent
found
prefix?
yeah, I found an
Okay.
axe that had like fire attached to it, so it did fire damage, and the
So
axe
that's
actually
cool.
like has a flame to it. That's one big thing
That's
for
a
me.
bit more ARPG, and I like that.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
kind of
Dark
cool.
Souls has that too. So
I can't
well,
stand when a
that's- I didn't know
game gives you some type of loot, and you don't get to see, like, it doesn't look any different. The character just looks the exact same. These
Yeah.
weapons actually do change the look of your character and all of that kind of
That's
stuff.
good.
So
what about armor
Um,
and stuff?
so yep, you find different armor. They
Okay.
put a big emphasis on cosmetics that have no like benefit to your character at all. So I don't know why. Like you go to this, like
Maybe there's
it,
a transmog system
that's-
later.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
really
I
in your face. Like
I was like, you don't see like a big
Is this a
system with that
live-
in games like that.
no,
Is
it's
this a
not
live service game?
Nope.
Okay, I was about
Nope.
to say if this is a
Nope.
live service game, I'm gonna flip my lid, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Um,
you're seeing some of the first combat here, like of actually like where you'll have shielded enemies. You have to like get a bar up to like break their shield. And then you'll be able to do like an attack where like you'll go into the cinematographic kind of style, and you'll rip the shield out from under them. And again, it feels good. Like it doesn't feel bad. Like when I heard the negative stuff around this game, I was like, oh, this game is going to feel really shitty. And it doesn't. It plays really well. I was actually having a
That's
hard
what-
time.
Looks
pulling
like it
myself
plays
away
all
from it.
right. To me, it's
what-
like the
that's what-
animations look a bit like skatey and floaty, but they're
Yeah.
not the worst animations I've seen. It's just like the way they interact with things is a little finicky.
Well,
it
it's-
seems.
Oh, good.
I was about to say that's kind of what your YouTube chat is saying right now. Is like this is the most positive I think I've heard somebody talk about this game so
That's
far,
funny.
like reviews wise. Like every review that I have seen has been like the fucking story's shit, the gameplay is terrible. I don't understand how to do this. Like they,
I don't
mean,
know,
if
like-
you go on Steam reviews right now, it's sitting at a 77% mostly positive. So,
I
albeit
mean,
that's
That's
only
surprising.
out of
That's-
446 reviews.
Yeah.
but
Right, but
Here-
still, mostly
still,
positive.
that's not bad.
Not for
And
Steam,
from what
yeah.
I'm looking at it, I can understand
Well-
maybe the Soulsy type feel to it. It honestly has kind of a Stellar Blade-ish feel to it with the platform, with like how the double jump functions
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
stuff
can
like
see
that too.
So this one was the one that we saw on what was it? Was it Summer Games Fest, I believe?
I think so.
That I was saying that I was saying I feel like this feels to me like what was the
Forspoken.
name of that? Yeah, Forspoken. This
Yeah,
this
'cause
looks a
that's what we
lot
thought,
like
yeah.
Forspoken to me. Yeah.
With the god stuff and like the traversal, I could see.
Well,
that
just like
for
the
sure.
traversal and
the
the
main
game
character even,
mechanics.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
the
yeah,
next
I
game
could
we
definitely see
talk
that.
about, I think to me feels more Forspoken-y than this one, but
Oh yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Like, look, here, the both games that I'm going to talk about, this one and then the next one, I think suffer from one key problem. And I think if this would have been changed, it would have skyrocketed these games to being, instead of mostly positive mixed or not liked, to being like, yeah, you know what? Good game. I'll take it. It's worth it. The pricing of these games are fucking not right. Like this game, I think
Yeah.
is $70. It does not need to be $70. I don't think it warrants
Wow.
the $70 price tag or
Jeez.
or $60 price. I'm pretty sure it's 70. I'm almost 100%
I'm
sure.
seeing it at $40.
Right now it's 40 or it's on sale for
Siege
40.
of Dawn.
I don't think it launched at 40. I could have sworn it launched at fucking 70.
No, this one's sitting at
Mm.
sitting at 40 on Steam, no sale.
Okay.
Typically,
well-
you don't see games drop price like that. So
okay,
I
so
mean, geez,
either we
recently you do,
even
but-
still at $40, I think it's overpriced. I'm just gonna like because the next game is also $40 and I think it's overpriced. I don't like, though visually it's a beautiful game and I understand they got to get their money back, but like you're not gonna get your money back if the game is overpriced. People think it's bad for the price that it is. If it was
I
priced
honestly
at
think
like
visually is probably the weak part of it.
I was
From
gonna say
what I'm seeing
visuals
here. It
to
doesn't.
me
Yeah, it
look like
doesn't.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah,
Hogwarts
it
Legacy, they
doesn't-
spent a shit ton of money on.
the
Like
best
it's not
thing
cheap.
visually for this right now is the the Fennec Fox bird thing that's following you, and its
I mean,
AI is
I'm just
it's
saying that-
cracking me up. I can't take it seriously.
I know.
To-
Just
me-
yeets itself off a fucking cliff.
To me, comparable to the next, again, I'm going to show the next game, but the next game, I think this is the better of the looking of the two
So
personally.
before we go on to that,
Oh,
I
no,
just
I'm-
wanted to bring up, like moving, like going on to like the critics reviews, like critics are saying that it's great. They're very positive about it, but like Metacritic on when it comes to like the user scores, it's a 4.1. It's generally unfavorable with 55%.
I think that it's a little that's a little
Negative.
harsh.
It's
Like,
kind of crazy.
I don't know. Like I had fun.
That's a wild difference between the Metacritic
Yeah,
and the
dude.
Steam. Usually
Yeah.
they're
It's
pretty
crazy.
on point with the Steam user and
Yeah.
Metacritic user.
Like I don't know. I had fun with
Did it play
the
bad on
game
console?
and the other side.
This,
Yes, it was on console.
This guy says he didn't like the protagonist. The protagonist was was not interesting at all. Weapon upgrades are useless. They barely do anything. Story is so generic. It lost me after 5 minutes.
I'll agree with
I
that
finished
one.
the
Eh,
game, but
I
didn't
mean-
enjoy my time. I give it a 2 because it's free. It's a short. It wasn't free. What are you talking?
It
about?
was on Game Pass. He's probably talking about.
Oh, was it on
Pass.
game? Okay, that makes
Okay.
sense. Okay.
That's
mean-
definitely the place where to play this game.
I think that this is again an area where it's like, you know what? I think gamers are harsh on stuff. I don't know, man. Like, look, I had fun with the game. I can only give you my honest opinion of the game. Like, I had a
Hey,
fucking
man, if you
blast.
enjoyed
with
it,
it. Like,
you had fun. I mean,
I
yeah.
enjoyed it. Like, you
I
know,
enjoyed Forspoken, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're allowed
I-
to our opinions.
I think that it's getting a little bit of fucking too much hate for what the game is. I don't know what people necessarily expected out of it. I don't know, like,
I mean, there's definitely games that come out in worse states that we don't give as much crap to. So
yeah, I mean, this is like, I had a blast and the combat system was fun. The
Especially
one
AAA titles.
Here's the negative that I will say. So you're seeing up in the left, if you see on the left hand side where it keeps my percentages, right, and my hits, like that keeps going up and up and up. That is your souls. So you don't get them for killing something. You get them for more consistently, like your combat, and then you have to acquire them. So you have to hold down, I think I don't know what it is on keyboard, I can't remember, but it's like I think tab or some shit. But you hold down tab and then it will basically absorb that percentage and you get those souls locked in. Or the stuff to you,
Interesting.
which is used as your, again, it's souls. It uses your currency to upgrade and do all those kind of things. That's really weird. Like that just doesn't, it's very disjointed because I'm like, okay, so I'm at 6%. Now I'm at 12%. And now I'm going to hold the button and now I'm going to absorb I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Like what? I don't know. It means so I don't hit the button or I get hit, then all the souls that I acquired are gone. Like who's holding this percentage? Why is it a percentage?
I
shit
don't
is weird.
mind it too much.
Yeah, it's just weird because like in this case, like all of the, because
Okay, so I'm locked.
in the middle of that fight, I fought those two guys, but because I didn't hit the button to absorb the percentage, I got hit by this guy and I lost it. So I'm like, okay, so the two guys I just fought did nothing for me. Like I got nothing out of it. And yeah, it's my own fault because I didn't hit the button to absorb it, but it's also kind of like, well, that sucks. I don't know. It's weird.
So
man.
it's just
So-
a
so
mechanic,
what-
just to,
It's interesting.
you always have to remember to just absorb your
Yeah.
souls whenever you collect them.
Yes.
So
Well, so
So
whenever
this-
something dies, you get the base amount of souls, and then that percentage is how much bonus you get onto it. So it gives you the option: do you want to continue for a higher bonus, or do you want to absorb it
Okay,
now and
or-
just bank it?
It's like Tony Hawk.
So there's a little bit of give and take, but as soon as you get hit, it
like
reverts back to zero.
Hidden
I don't
sick
mind
tricks
that
and
too much,
combos
actually. That
gets you
that-
more.
That's kind of nifty.
I guess that's
don't know.
kind of cool.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it because I was like,
It's-
fuck, I gotta
so-
keep hitting this fucking button.
So this is made by A44.
A24, you said?
A44.
Are they a division of fucking
Not
A24?
No,
Say
not that
all
I
I will
know.
change my
This
review
game.
right now and fucking say this game is shit.
So it was made by A44 and published by Kepler Interactive, which are the guys that do Cat Quest and everything like that. This is their second game. They did another game that I don't know if we covered it. It was called It's called Ashen. You guys remember that?
Mhm.
It was
remember
released
Ashen.
like last year.
Yeah.
Did not get received very well. Even that one didn't get received very well. So I'm curious if people were like expecting a different, like a better, like a new, better portion of the video game publishing or development team from that. But
I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I
like,
don't know,
this is the
man.
thing, it's not bad. Like people need to stop fucking hating on it so much. It's not really that bad.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
anyway,
I don't know.
that's it. Here you go. It's Flintlock. If you have Game Pass, you can play it for free. It's worth the play. I still have it installed on my system. I still plan on playing more of it. I'm enjoying it. $40. I think it's a little much. Maybe wait for it to go on sale. And you know, I think
Play
the
it on
30
Game Pass.
I think $30 price point is right there. Like I think that's worth it to me. 40 is a little much, but
I think it's a 12 to 20 hour like main storyline too. So it's not
Yeah, it's not
terrible
bad
for
for content.
$40. Yeah, honestly.
all right. Well, let's go into the next game that I played, and that one also has the same problem that this one has as far as pricing, but we're going to talk about the good before we talk about the bad. This is Atlas Fallen Rain of Sand. Fuck, let me make sure I said that right. Yes, Atlas Fallen Rain of
Yep,
Sand.
Rain of
Now,
Sand.
to be clear, I remember this game. This is not a new game. This is a new
It's the
content
it's,
update, right? Or something, a new big like rehaul.
So I don't
Overhaul.
know, man. Like,
I thought
Okay,
this was
'cause
an old
there's-
game. Am I wrong?
because there's Atlas Fallen and then there's Atlas Fallen
Wait,
Rain of Sand. It's the same game. Like I have them both because I purchased. Like it's
you
the
have them
same game.
both?
It's the same game. Is what I'm trying to say. Like Rain of Sand. It's like an update.
It's a
If-
free
it's a
upgrade.
free
Yeah, it's like a
upgrade. So
free
it's a
DLC or
new-
upgrade or something.
It's like an overhaul or something.
So yes, so okay, this was an update that came out to the game. It was completely free. And they added in co-op. They added in a couple of different modes and some other stuff. You know, and basically like this was a big content update that they basically kind of came out. The real purpose of this was like to relaunch, to kind of like breathe some new life, I think, into the game because it wasn't doing what I think they expected it to do.
They fucking needed it. It
Um,
died within like a week of release. Like the original game did not go over well.
So okay. This is another one that I don't think is a bad game, but I'm going to tell you right off the fucking gate, right? One of the biggest things that I almost gave up on, and if it wasn't for someone coming into chat and saying, hey, go left, because if you go right, you're going to get more of this and you are going to hate it, is the fucking dialogue. This is another game that the story
Yeah.
just,
Mhm.
and when I'm telling you, like, I don't mind games that give you some story in the front. Like, I know I don't like story games, but like, you give me a little bit, that's fine. Like, I can push through. When
Was
I'm
it
telling
like a
you,
forced
this,
dialogue.
it was so fucking much, and it was
Oof.
so long. It was, and like,
Yep.
it took.
That
I'm
reminds
not
me
kidding
of
you.
Biomutant. I liked
Mhm.
Biomutant, but Biomutant's story and dialogue being forced was
just
it's
forced
killer.
on you. Yeah.
It took.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting you. Almost had to be an hour. Like, and that's because, again, I know that I was like, checking every little nook and cranny and whatever else, but like, I don't think, like, even if I took that away, I don't think I'm going to shorten it up by much.
No,
Like,
because I remember doing the intro for the when this was originally released. I remember doing the intro and it was like 45 minutes worth of
Yeah.
just nothing but
It's
like
fucking
nothing
dialogue.
but dialogue and
it
bullshit story that like
sucks.
did absolutely nothing for like the gameplay. It was literally like the start of the start of the whole thing was some sad sob story about bullshit. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna spoil it, but it, it was
I mean,
like
it's
you could have told me that later and got me into the actual game a
it's
lot quicker,
basically just
and we would have been just fine.
yeah, inject whatever fucking, oh, I'm a person that's not, that's below this other person and they want to fight for fucking like power and all this other kind of stuff. And oh, I'm a lowly like serf that doesn't deserve anything and I'm the one that got chosen. Like, that's it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I just summed up 45 minutes of what the fuck this is. But then you get into this section and it's like, cool. Like, now I get to play the game. And when you get to play the game, it's a lot of fucking fun. Like, it's like you're skating across the sand and like you have like this a lot like and okay, here you go. If you're watching the thing, this is what I'm talking about. I'm literally like skating about it, like, cool, I'm gonna, and all of a sudden it just stops you dead in your tracks and you're like, oh no,
Yeah.
another story beat.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Forspoken did that a lot too.
God
Yeah.
Like
damn it.
I see the Forspoken comparisons with this one.
I could see
Like
that.
I've yeah.
And like this part right here is just like this dude, you like pass out, then all of a sudden this dude's trying to take this gauntlet, and the premise of it is this gauntlet is imbued with, again, another god that has like powers and gives you powers and talks to you, i.e. kind of like Forspoken in the Bengals. This is basically like a little dude in his fucking like gauntlet wrist thing, and this guy's like, oh, I'm trying to take your Infinity Stones, and then he's gone and you don't
Your
see him again.
Infinity Stones.
Like, you don't see him again. Like, for, I don't know, maybe if you go left you'll see him, but like I went right, so I didn't see him. And yeah, so anyway, you get to the combat,
What was the decision making between going left and right? What do you mean?
there's
Like,
just, because it's
two
open,
different
it's
paths you
open
can-
world. It's an open world game. So if you go to the well, I
this is
think I
open
actually
world.
went left. So if you go to the right, you go like to more into the story and all this other kind of stuff. Where if you go to
Gotcha.
the left, you get to be in the sand and like you get to be in this desert part and like actually fight monsters and all this other kind of stuff and do shit, which was fun.
right.
Like, that part of the game is a lot of fun. Like, you get to, like, they have like a bunch of different builds that you can do, and you can like load up different kind of like mods that like it's like based off this thing called momentum, and momentum is essentially like your casting bar. The more momentum you gain, it activates new abilities for you, where like if you could build like super defensive, and now that this has co-op, like Enigma could build really offensive. I could be the offensive.
You want to fast forward a little bit to where we're actually getting gameplay?
Sorry, this is what I'm talking about. This is fucking bullshit. I just say it, fucking listen to this dude. And literally all he's saying is like, I tried to steal your shit, but I didn't really look. Boom. I just randomly picked an area, and now I'm fucking talking to somebody again. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, I'm telling you, this is the worst part of this game. But the again, the combat, like what you're seeing here, the combat system is a lot of fun. And I don't know, like you have a lot of different variations, spells you can cast.
Yeah, you played this. Did you play this on keyboard or did you play this
Yes,
on
mouse and
on
keyboard.
controller?
Mouse and keyboard.
Okay, like when I played it on originally when it first released, one of my, and we talked about this when we talked about it then, was like my biggest complaint was like it felt like it was not not made for keyboard and mouse, like at all.
No.
It felt terrible. The fucking combat to me felt bad, like terrible bad.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
a lot.
That was my
it's-
biggest complaint to when I first played. It was just like it did not feel good to do the combat. The skating around and everything like that, and the traversal and everything like that felt great. It's just whenever you went into combat, I was just like, this feels like extremely like jolty, like jilted. Doesn't feel like it's smooth, everything like that. Like the lock-on system was really weird when it came down to like fighting multiple opponents, right? It would like constantly swap between opponents right in the middle of your fucking
I
combat.
don't
So
know why
you'd
I'm
be like
making a
doing an
bunch of
attack on one.
Biomutant like comparisons, but that was also
Yeah.
something that I had issues with in Biomutant with on mouse and keyboard. It was the same thing. Snapping like with multiple enemies around
Yeah.
would just take your screen and go like every which way. It was bad.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not, it is, you are definitely hitting a lot of keys, doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
If you're playing on mouse and keyboard, it's not unplayable, but it's definitely not built for mouse and keyboard. Like this is built for a controller. You can
Yeah.
feel it because I'm like, there's a lot of like combo moves where you're having to like, if you're on mouse and keyboard where it's like, hey, I need to hit Q to hit this guy to stun this guy, to then hit control to hit C to hit left click to hit right click to hit R to hit F to hit G, you know, and this is all at the same time. So it's just like, you know, and you're having to like switch fucking angles and, you know, I don't know. So it was not built for mouse and keyboard at all. But the like, I want to play this co-op because I think it could be a lot of fun co-op.
Oh, I didn't know this was co-op.
Well, they
Yeah,
added it in with
it's
this
like-
update.
I think it's like 3-player co-op. It had co-op before.
Did it?
It
Oh,
wasn't,
I thought they
it
added it
wasn't
with
just
this
added
update.
in. It
I
had
think I
co-op
remember
before,
now.
but it just it didn't go very well, so nobody really played it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, this game again is $40. And
That's steep.
it's not I see Bill checking, just double check and be like, I'm gonna just fact check this dude. I promise you this one is $40. It's not worth 40. I think it's too much. I think $40 is too much of a price tag. I would have put 20 on it, maybe
Yeah.
25, and I think that they would have probably sold like gangbusters. But and again,
Is this also a
traversal,
Game
this
Pass
is,
release?
No,
I don't know if you
I don't
know
know.
off the top of your head. I
I
don't
don't know.
remember.
No, it was
being-
not. It wasn't.
Yeah. So,
But it's like the world's a lot of fun to be in. The gameplay is fun. The dialogue sucks ass. The story is fucking too much.
Which is really weird because like this game you would think would be really good. This is made by the guys that made The Surge. And The Surge
Yeah.
was like really like touted as like a really good like Dark Souls quote. I know you're gonna roll
Yeah.
your eyes, but Dark
No,
Souls game,
no,
right?
that one's official.
Everybody always said that like The Surge was actually a really decent game and like the combat, which just it makes no sense why this one felt so weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
I'm
get it.
just watching it. It looks like a weird mix of Lords of the Fallen and Forspoken.
Yeah,
I can
I
get
can
that.
see it.
This is the one I
kinda
said.
get, like Infamous vibes almost from the traversal.
Maybe. I mean, I could kind of see that.
Like
I
the
gotta
glancing
remember.
and
I gotta remember.
surfing and
Infamous
stuff.
was so long ago, but yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also got a little bit of Monster Hunter World with it when it comes to like upgrading your gauntlet and your skills and everything like that. Like you can get pieces, if I remember correctly, from like
Yes.
monsters that you
Uh,
can like upgrade your equipment and your
well,
weapons.
so I don't know if that's changed or what they had before, but like here, like they do have a system that like your monsters have different pieces and parts, and the more parts that you break
Yeah.
off, the better chance you get of an RNG loot that will drop.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, but it's not like you don't get a piece off of the monster itself. Like you'll. get
It was
different loot.
just like it was like you were attacking the monster's weak points to get a chance at loot.
Yes,
was
yeah,
basically what
yeah.
it was.
So
It wasn't
that's-
like I don't know if you got like crafting materials or not from it, but I remember there was something that was why I originally played the game, was because I was looking at it like, oh shit, this is like Monster Hunter World meets like Prince of Persia almost, you know, but it was
Yeah.
not that. It was
Like,
definitely not that.
I said it during the show. I was like, or during my stream, I was like, honest to God, if this would have been cheaper and they just would have done the
Yeah.
Elden Ring thing where they're just like, boop, drop you in the fucking world, and like you're in the sands because you're a fucking lowly piece of shit, and this god found you and gave you a gauntlet, you're done, right? Like, cool. You're like,
Yeah.
I get to play the fucking game and experience it. Like, I get I'm not a story person, but even this is too much. Like, it's just too much for what this game is.
Yeah.
And it just seems like every corner I'm turning around, somebody fucking wants to talk to me. And the sucky thing about that is like, if you don't talk to them, you will miss quests. Data, I don't know if it's like, I'm sure it's not like mainline story quests that you need, but there are side quests that you'll miss if you don't randomly just talk to the dude sitting on a fucking
hate
pile of
that.
2x4s.
Yeah.
Yeah, Final Fantasy Remake and Rebirth did that shit, and it's so fucking annoying. Like I don't know why more games don't just let you like give you the option to organically run into stuff
Yeah. But like,
Right.
look at
instead
the
of having
world.
to
Like,
go through a quest holder.
it's pretty. It's fucking like, I spend
It's,
a lot of times just like rolling around in the world being like, this is fucking gorgeous.
So this is what Reign of Sands added into it. So they added in they expanded the world with new enemies, revamped progression, new quests, dunes. They had like a new Tame the Sands of Unique Fantasy Universe where they like that was one of the cool things about this game was like they had like little puzzles. And then that's where
Yeah.
the Prince of Persia style stuff came in. Is like you would have to solve these puzzles where you had to like raise
Yeah.
remnants of the past up from the sand to be able to get up onto certain areas and do like platforming and stuff. I liked that. I thought that was kind of cool. But it was kind of not. It was kind of offset by the terrible combat and everything.
The combat looks a lot
apparently
better in this. I don't know if that's must have been from the update, maybe.
no, the combat's pretty much the same. It looks like.
Oh,
I don't
well, I
think
don't
they've
know.
done
I
too
like
much with it.
the diversity of like ranged and like melee and
Yeah, it
magic,
had
and
that. It had that
it
from the start. From the
actually
get
looks
go.
pretty fluent.
They've added a new nightmare mode available with new game plus, so that's kind of cool. And they added new weapons, armors, new customization for custom or combat systems, new essence stones and armor infusions for your armor and weapons. So it's pretty decent. I mean, I'm surprised it's free. At least I wouldn't. I mean, I don't think that they could have charged for it, honestly, with their player base. But
I'm looking for this one quest because I want to show you this so badly. This quest where, and I'm not kidding you when this was like, and this is something that just pisses me off. It is, was it there? Yes, this quest right here. Okay, so this, oh my god, I got this quest. I found these guys, just chilling in this like little like nook and cranny, right? And I like, okay, cool. Like I went over there and I found them and I said, hey, like, what's going on? Like, whatever. And they're like, oh my God, we lost David. Because essentially, basically, this god like threw the world over the fucking thing. They're like, we lost
Not
David. We don't know where David's at all. And I'm gonna pause. So that, wait, when I turn back around, I'm gonna pause so that you can see what I'm talking about. It was like, we don't know where he's at, and we're so fucking worried, and we're like, please go find him. This motherfucker was not more than 40 feet from these people. Like, literally, I'm just like, turn around. He's right there. And he's just sitting. And you know what his dialogue was like? He's like, I don't know, man. I just don't know if life's worth like it. I'm just kind of really sad and all this other kind of stuff. And I literally wish there was an option just to Spartan kick this fucker in the back of the head off the side of this cliff. And he's just down there. And I go back to tell the people where he's at. And I'm like, yeah, he's down there. And he's like, they're like, oh my God, I never would have thought he would have been down there. I'm like, you didn't just turn around. Just turn the fuck around. Just turn around. Like, God,
that would be
standard
Bethesda shit if they
I was about to say standard like Final Fantasy Bethesda crap where you're just like they're like, hey, go and find this guy and he's 3 feet away from him.
So Bethesda would let you kick him off, and then you go back to his buddies, be like, yeah, I don't know, he's gone, he's dead.
So to kind of give you an idea, right? They released in August, I believe. No, this is the Steam charts for their current one. For some reason, they removed the old Steam charts for the old portion. They released their all-time peak was 2,679 players. They're at 106 right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
24-hour peak of 289. So
again,
I don't know, man.
Game's fun. It's overpriced. The dialogue's trash. The story is pretty shit. But the game's fun. Gameplay is fun. So if it's on sale, I do recommend picking it up and playing it. All right, moving on to another game. I don't know.
This should have been renamed Still Sinnin's World, this podcast.
Hey fucker, if you got games to put on here, then I'll show your games. Until then, shut the fuck up.
Happy to be here.
I was gonna have a game actually, and now I have just a sad sob story, and you'll see why later.
Okay, last game, I promise, from me. All right. I just put this on here because I really wanted you guys to get to just see what your guys' take on this was, because it is fucking weird. So this is called Biogun. And I'm just gonna let the premise sink in for a second. You play as a vaccine. Nope. You are a vaccine that is taken from the blood of that dude right there, which is a scientist where their dog got basically this disease, and it's kind of like COVID essentially, but it basically wipes out animals and kills off all animals, like and like pets. And this dude took his own blood and mixed it with, I think, pig blood or something like that, and something else.
Because
and,
you're
like,
definitely a pig. I mean,
yeah. Oh no, you're a pig. And
Yeah.
you're and it's a shooter, and or like a it's like a it's not really a roguelike, but like it's, I don't know, it's just like a bullet hell kind of style game. But where I'm at right now is your female. It's a female dog, and I'm in its fallopian tubes. And you're moving through the body of the dog, and you go through
Gross.
like the stomach and the anus and and some other places.
The
Can we
Magic
just-
School
can we-
Bus, rated
Can we
R.
just can we just appreciate that once again Sin is playing a game that he's an animal?
Right?
Bro,
Not only an animal, but
I
he's
didn't
inside of an
choose that it
animal.
was gonna be a fucking animal. I just saw Biogun and like a bullet hell, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna whatever else.
So what is this? This is like Osmosis Jones or something?
Kinda.
Like
I mean, it
Osmosis
sounds like it,
Jones
yeah.
Or like the Magic School Bus.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting right now.
The weird thing, and I'm still getting like the kind of ick vibes, is that knowing that it's like, because it doesn't hide anything. Like, it's just not like you're inside the dog. It's like fallopian tubes right out of the gate. And for all of our, people that don't know anatomy, fallopian tubes is essentially where, like, it's the reproductive section of a female, or part of at least the reproductive section of a female. You feel real weird because you're like, I know what I'm stepping on. Like, I know what I know what this is, and it just feels real weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it looks fun though.
I mean, it
looks like there's some, like, it looks like 2D, Enter the Gungeon, like side scroller Enter the Gungeon instead of top down
Yeah.
Enter the Gungeon.
You know what this reminds me of? Like Newground. Like, you guys remember the site Newground?
Newground,
That-
yeah.
Like that. This is a game that I feel like would be on Newground.
Or like the old Cartoon Network games that
Yeah.
you had on the
Oh, yeah.
on the
I
fucking
played all of
which
those,
by the way that website got shut down recently. So
Yeah,
Oh.
it did.
rip Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network in general, a lot of shit got shut down.
But yeah, I don't know. It's so the whole concept and premise is that you are basically the vaccine to see if it will fight off and kill off this virus. And the
I'm
virus
trying to think.
keeps mutating.
You're shooting eggs right now. That's what those are. I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
I
I don't want to know. I
don't know, man.
it's just real and like, you get to name your dog, and
Yo.
I fucked up and named my dog's name, and I was like, wait a minute, no. And then I had to stop. I was just like, nope, I gotta stop. This is fucking weird, man. Like, I don't know. I did not.
What was that
connect with
little
this.
atom thing that was spinning around there?
It's, you get those to do to get upgraded powers. So like, you'll upgrade yourself, and you get once you clear out a zone of the virus, these other little things that are like these little guys, I don't know what they are, show up and start living in the world. I don't know if they're good bacteria. I don't know if it doesn't really
Probably like white blood cells or something.
Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, it's called the Duper virus. That's what it's called. The DOOPER virus. But yeah. Anyway, you get to go to them, and like you can get upgrades and choose upgrades using those
Okay.
kind of things.
Probably like I said,
So,
it's probably like red and white blood
Alright.
cells or
Yeah.
something. That looks like what their label or what they're kind of designed after.
What are you
Yep.
being like attacked by, like antibodies and shit? It looks like, or
I don't know.
something.
Maybe because something. It's just anatomy.
Interesting.
It's just I don't know. I got again. This is another game that I was able to get. I was able to get for free. I'm not sponsored, but
big ick.
I just.
Oh my
game.
god, dude! I literally just happened to turn. I have the Steam store page open. I literally just turned over just in time to watch the introductory for the trailer that they have, and it's literally just them sticking the fucking needle right in the dog's.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep. So anyway, there you go. So it's Biogun. I don't know how much this game is. I don't. I think it's like $5.
$20.
It's
$20.
$20. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, I don't know.
I mean, the game looks other than the
I mean,
concept, like a quality
get-
game.
It's
Yeah, is
getting
it-
very positive.
Is it a Metroidvania?
Yes, yeah,
like
it's
it
like
looks
it's
like the
very
style
Hollow
of, like,
Knight.
Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not roguelike in the sense of like you're not gonna die and then come back and like progress farther because you died or whatever. Like it's very much a
Right.
Metroidvania game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
These
that
are
this
weird,
is.
man.
I think what this is. Why? I mean, I'm not. It doesn't play bad. It doesn't control bad, right? Like it's
Yeah.
fine.
It's just the ick factor.
Well, the ick factor, but also like the $20 is like because the
I mean,
game's
that's
not
a typical price for these kinds of games, though.
Yeah, but the
I mean,
game's
yeah, it
not-
could probably
I mean,
be
it
like
looks-
$15.
I mean, it looks quality though. Like
that's
it
what I'm
doesn't look
saying.
terrible. Like I mean,
I-
I get what you're saying. For like $20, you can go and get like a better a better quality game when it comes down to like the graphics and everything like that. But I think
Yeah.
that like as long as it has like the quality behind the gameplay and everything like that,
It-
should,
Yeah.
shouldn't be an
Here's
issue.
This
My-
is
my-
the developer's first game too. I
I'm
don't know,
not.
I-
I'm
I-
not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying that again.
Got a
I think
vision.
I think $20. The game is not hard. Like here's the thing. In these kind of games like this, like Metroidvania, Hollow Knight, stuff like that. Like I if I'm gonna spend
Expect
20, I
of
want
a
it to be a little bit
challenge.
more difficult. This is not like
Right.
a lot
I mean,
of
how
this
far
was
have
just
you gotten in it?
I've spent about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours in it, right? So I mean, I'm not like crazy far, but like I am in I mean, I got a good enough feel to be like, okay, cool, like I can understand and expect like there's no like what you're watching here is like
I
it's
don't
not-
know, man. Like making the Hollow Knight comparison. Like the beginning of Hollow Knight's like ridiculously easy compared to like the rest of the game. Like the difficulty could ramp up a decent
Yeah,
amount.
I'm
as
watching.
You go
I'm
through.
I'm watching some of like the boss fights on their like their introductory or
page.
their Steam page right here, and they do look pretty hard. Like I mean, it looks
I mean,
like a
sure,
bullet hell,
maybe I don't know.
or
I
whatever
just
you want to
again,
call it, like a side scroller bullet hell.
I
to
think
me-
this is a more fair price than the other two games that you've
well, fuck
showcased.
yeah,
Right?
no shit. But
So
I just
I
think
don't know. I can give this game a pass.
I get where you're coming from with like the weird factor, because like Osmosis Jones was fucking weird. If you think about
Yeah.
it, like
Yeah,
back
it
in the
was.
day, if
Yeah,
you think about that
it's
fucking movie, that was a weird
exactly what
fucking
I
movie
got.
to be catering to like kids.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree. Or some of the Magic School Bus stuff. Yeah.
yeah, right.
Mrs. Frizzle was a freak.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Anyway.
look like get this jump. Come on.
Well,
There we
that's
go.
another thing that's annoying to me is because again, there's some parts of it that it's like you definitely should be able to clip it and be able to go, and you can't. Again, it's not a pro. It's whatever. Just saying, it might be a little overpriced in my opinion, but you may enjoy the shit out of it. Have fun, like it's Biogun. I introduced you into a game you probably never even heard of. So there you go.
Nope, never
Uh,
have.
There you go. So that's
Never-
by
yeah.
Makes,
that
me
is
makes me want to play Cuphead.
that's Biogun.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
All right, Enigma. This we're gonna turn it over to you. Is heretical? Heretical?
Yeah,
Nice, right?
heretical. Yep.
Heretical.
Heretical.
I know how to
Hey,
English.
hey, fucker! That is heretic, and if I add an AL to the end of it, it's heretical. But
Oh
anyway,
goodness. Yeah,
heretical.
this is heretical. It's a another Souls-like game. I know you're gonna hate that, Bill, but it does feel very Souls-like, except for in a top-down, like a top-down,
like RuneScape.
action RPG almost, right?
A little bit.
Yeah. But it also has some like cool features in comparison to like, or when it comes down to like, they've pushed Vampire Survivor mechanics into it as well, where like as you're going through these runs, you're getting equipment and upgrades for
kinda
your
cool.
character. Not only like equipment upgrades, but also like like ability upgrades too. So like there's later on you'll see like I get like I think the first one that I came across was like I shoot like a bolt of lightning out every couple of seconds. The next
Okay.
one was like every 5 attacks or something like that. There's like a cone of fire that goes off in front of me, right? So it's very similar to those new age like I said, like Vampire Survivors,
The auto battlers.
kinda,
Yeah.
yeah. But this one's not an auto battler. It's more of an action RPG than anything. So
Got some V
very
Rising feel to it. a
yeah,
bit,
kinda, yeah.
You know, just
Very
aesthetically.
reminiscent of like a Diablo meets kind of Souls like. You do go up against bosses. They do have mechanics. You have like a dodge mechanic, you have a perfect parry mechanics and like block mechanics and everything like that. Yeah, it's free right now. The demo was on Steam. I was looking at it the other day, and I thought it looked really cool. I didn't get too far into these because I suck at these games when it comes down to like fighting the bosses. I did kill the first one, I believe. I killed two of them. I killed the first two bosses. I killed the one guy, or the first guy in the first area, and then the second. I think she was like a side boss. She did like a lot of like AOE's and like ground line attacks and everything like that. So I didn't get too terribly far, and then there was like this weird mechanic where like I got transported into this like dimension of darkness, and I was having to
Mhm.
fight these tentacles that were just slamming down, and I couldn't DPS fast enough to kill them, and I was slowly taking damage as I was doing it. Right. So I unfortunately that was where I ended this run, but it's I don't know, man. I think
And
it's
it's
got
run
a
based.
it is run based. Yep. So whenever you die, you upgrade like your stats and everything like that. I think I fall off the edge of the cliff on this one right here. I
So
found
it's
out
like a
you could do
roguelike
that.
in a
Yeah,
way.
it is a roguelike. Yep.
But it's
So
the same run every time, or is it procedurally generated?
I every run that I did, the two or three runs that I did, it was the same exact like
Interesting.
layout.
Okay.
So I don't know if they intend to have like random generation in the game or not.
Right.
I hope they do,
No,
because like
I was
if
about to
it's
say,
the
that
same,
sounds like it might
yeah.
be a little bit boring.
Yeah,
that's
if
what
it's
I
the
was
same
thinking.
one, it'll be a little bit tedious after like the first 4 or 5 runs, right?
Right.
I do know
Especially
that
if
they
you're going
do.
against like really easy enemies all the time in
Yeah.
the beginning run of the run. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
I'm
do
sure there
know
might
that.
be a checkpoint later in the game though.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I do know that there's like certain certain areas that
Okay.
like once you clear the area, you can open gates and open doors, and I'm assuming that once you open that door, it'll be open for your next run, so you don't have to like go the same path, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I just haven't gotten to that point yet. But it's pretty competent, man. Like I don't know how much it's going to be. They don't have it's planned for early access at some point in
I like the style.
2024, I believe.
It's kind of cute. Little
trying
cute
to-
guys. Oh,
They do not have a release date, so
I know.
it's whenever it releases. That's when it releases. The main features for it that they got: unlockable characters. You can unlock new characters, each with a unique set of skills and proficiencies. Level up mechanics. Custom character builds, which is kind of cool. I like that because you can like swap out your main weapons and your secondary weapons. I think this run right here, I picked up a like a magic wand, and I was just using that, nothing but that. Ranged feels extremely overpowered in this game. I think that they're gonna have to balance that a little bit, because you can literally just kite things and it becomes easy, other than bosses, right?
And this is on demo
It's got
right now?
randomized items. It is on a demo. Yeah, this is a free demo. It's got randomized items, prophecy cards, which are like achievement systems that allow the player to unlock new game mechanics and skills and items. The Well of Stars enables the players to further improve their character skills and perks by adding a variety of unique builds. Darkness, which was that thing that I had that kind of fucked me up. Reaching the kill count limit, the player faces the nameless abyss and an overpowered boss. Kill it to proceed or get consumed by the darkness. Spoiler
So
alert,
it's like
I got
it's like
consumed.
it's like a gulag, but in a single player
Kinda.
game.
Kinda. And then obviously boss fights, multiple bosses, each with their own unique skills, everything like that. So I don't know, man. I'm not usually a big fan of like Dark Souls-esque games like this, right? When it comes down to like having to go in and defeat bosses and everything like that.
This one gives
has
me less Dark
enough.
Souls though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. This
it's
gives me
not-
enough of like the action RPG meets
That's
like Vampire
more
Survivors.
comparable. Yeah, ARPG
That
style.
I think I could kind of get into this. I had a lot of fun with it. I played it for like I think like 45 minutes to an hour, and I still want to play it. Like I still want to go and do runs.
I really think
Um,
Enigma. I think that you're a roguelike fan, man. I think that you would like
I
games
think
like
I
Dead
think I'm
Cells and shit
starting.
like that.
I think I'm starting to get there, dude. Like I really do. I wasn't ever really like a roguelike fan up until the point that you have like Vampire Survivors, or even what's the one that we're always talking about with the Greek gods that I've never fucking played. I need to play it.
Hades.
Hades, yeah, Hades.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
want to play
You've
Hades.
got a huge catalog of good
Dude,
roguelikes
there's
that you can
some
go back and
great
play.
roguelikes.
Yeah,
Binding
even
of
Dead
Isaac.
Cells.
I played Bindings of Isaac. I actually quite enjoyed Bindings.
I want to
of
go
Isaac.
back and
Hell
play
yeah.
the co-op Binding of Isaac. The official co-op. I'd love to play that.
the other one, I fucking goat lamb. What's the
Goat,
lamb?
dude.
The fucking
Lamb
Cult
of
of
the
the
Goat,
Lamb.
Cult
Cult of the Lamb.
God.
I fucking
Cult-
love Cult of the Lamb, bro. That shit was amazing. That's an amazing game.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that though. This game, I think that if you like any of those franchises, you'll really enjoy it. But yeah, that's
Cool. That is
Nice.
But all I got-
heretical. Heretical.
heretical.
Heretical.
Yep.
All right. Well, wait, what is this? I know I'm not allowing, I'm continuing without disabling. Stop trying to get me to turn off my ad blocker esports. I don't wanna.
They
Scruffy.
They want your advertisements.
You said that you were going to try to play a game, right? And so we're going to move on to the
Why
news
didn't you?
section.
God damn
And
it!
we're going to talk about why you couldn't play the game. And before you do that, I just want to say I was literally on a call with Enigma last
Yeah.
night before I got offline, and I was like, I'm telling you, the shit is not going to work. And I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to let Scruffy unleash, but I called this shit last night. So,
yeah, it's
Scruffy, what's going
it's
on?
unfortunate.
What's going on with this? What did you try to play?
So I was trying to play a essentially it's a mod for Modern Warfare Remastered called the H2M mod. Essentially what this mod was doing was pulling like all like Modern Warfare 2 assets like guns and maps and everything and putting it into Modern Warfare Remastered, which was a remastered version of Modern Warfare Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare that came out in 2017. And this was a project that's been going on for many years now. I don't know the team behind it. I just know they go by H2M. But they recently got a cease and desist after just a day before they were going to officially release this mod. Some fucking bullshit. I mean, it was
Did you
definitely
come
gonna
on.
come.
Yeah, bro, come on.
It was definitely gonna come, but no, it's the way that they did it is what really gets me and a lot of people. So
Yeah, it's
like I
scummy
said,
as
this game's
shit.
been in development for many years, and not only that, but it's been advertised. Activision has definitely known about it because they've already cease and desisted 2 other mods. Now, the difference between this mod and say SM2 or I4X something, this was a non-profit. We're taking no profits. There was no torrents. They advertised and actually made you buy the Modern Warfare Remastered Activision published game to actually download and play this mod. So you had to buy their game. You spent no money anywhere else. So all proceeds would have went to Activision. And on top of that, it was on sale. So like everybody was buying it.
Yeah.
And it was going to come out literally tomorrow morning. And the eve of this release, Activision says, nope, cease and desist. You have to shut this down. And huge outrage. I mean, this was, everybody is like, FaZe, Optic, everybody's coming out being like, this is complete bullshit, and you know it.
It is, yeah.
The way that they went about this, like, why didn't they stop it before if they've known about it? Dude, it's just, it's scummy. And there's really nothing else to say. I knew it was going to be, eventually impacted by Activision. Activision comes after everybody, but it's just the timing of everything. They definitely could have gave the players some time with this mod to enjoy it, but they just obviously are greedy.
It's
and
wild
don't want
that they
to.
waited so long to do
Yeah.
so. And
Yeah.
I think that you do have a bit of a big brain on it where they were holding off on the cease and desist because they wanted sales of it to go
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Stuff
that,
like
a lot
that.
of people is what they're saying.
100%.
And there's even rumors being like, not rumors, but like people were being like, dude, if they like, because everyone's coming together right now to pretty much like be like, Activision, give us this back, come on, like, don't be scummy. And if
They're not gonna, bro.
I know they're not. I don't think they ever will. But if they were to, the other play that people were being like, yeah, if this was their plan to cease and desist it and then bring it back is that after it literally just went on sale for half off $20, people then refund it like that day, and then it comes back be like, hey, you can actually play it now. Then everybody has to rebuy it for full price $40. So
yeah,
that's
actually, didn't
that's
they
another.
hold on, did they
Yeah.
pull the I think they pulled the discount as well.
Well,
I don't
the
think-
discount. They no, they didn't. I don't. As far as I know, the discount was slated to just end today or yesterday, and so
Yeah, that's real convenient. I'm just saying.
real,
It's-
real convenient,
it's-
right? I don't know when the discount went live, and if it went live in the time span that H2M released their announcement of the release date. I don't know. Of when
Which
this game
was
was
it? Call
dropping.
of Duty remastered.
yeah, I'm looking
Call
it
of
up.
Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. It's the 2017 remaster.
Yeah, it's
of
back
COD
to
4.
$40 fucking dollars. I'm telling you
oh,
right
yeah.
now, bro.
Yeah.
That's
So that's the other thing. If there actually is enough commotion, and there is a lot right now, it's kind of crazy. You have all of FaZe, all of Optic, everybody like getting after Activision. If they do allow it to come out in some way, then everybody who refunded it for the 20 now has to buy a full price. So it's a whole lot of shit, a whole lot of scummy Activision shit.
I'm low key surprised Microsoft like was okay with them going through with this. Like, do you think Microsoft has any like sway in this decision at all, or is
No,
I don't
think it's
think-
all Activision, dude.
Fuck that, dude. No, okay. We're not gonna fucking sit here and be the podcast that lets a fucking company off the fucking hook. At least I'm not. I fucking
You don't
called
think-
bullshit with Activision and Blizzard, and I'm calling bullshit with this too. There's no fucking way that this did not plop down on Phil Daddy Spencer's fucking lap and somebody didn't say, yeah, fucking stop him. Like somebody somewhere, like as a fucking glorified, like appointed
I don't know.
like lover of no, I almost said Bobby Kotick. Holy fuck, dude. Freudian slip. I'm just saying, Phil, there you go, man. You have become that in my mind. Like I used to sing his praises, and I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit. Microsoft absolutely knew about this, could have stepped in and fucking done a good play, but every step that Microsoft has taken so far has been shit. They have literally stepped in at every step of the way, and I truly don't think they give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
I don't know. I
Damn.
mean, either way, both companies right now, Microsoft more recently than Activision, have been really scummy, really shady. So they definitely could have had a hand in it. I just can't say for sure. My bets for sure is like
I don't know.
Activision 100%
The-
was like to blame for this because they've done it in the
Yeah.
past, and that was before even Microsoft came into play. Activision is not a friend of mods. That's always
Yeah,
been a
that's
blatant,
that's
like
that's what
yeah.
I was gonna say. Is like to me, this just feels like scummy fucking Activision bullshit. They've
and,
pulled
like remnants
even
of like Bobby's
even before
ways,
even before they went to Microsoft, they were pulling
Yeah,
this shit. This
they were.
I'm not stating that Microsoft probably didn't know about it. I'm not stating that, again, like you said, that
Right. They
that
blew up in the past
that Phil
2
Spencer
weeks, I'm
didn't
sure.
have something dropped
on the
onto his
radar.
table like, hey, we're gonna do a cease and desist.
Yeah.
But this feels like just Activision greed.
That's kind of my eyes.
Plain and simple.
Now, the real like kind of shitty part again, I want to reiterate, this was a free project, and all money and proceeds were going to Activision. Like you could not play this game without buying Activision's
That's the best
product.
way. Technically, it's not a free product, a free update. I mean, it's free provided by the developer, or the modder, but you
The
still have to pay
modders
for
were
the
coming
actual
out with a
game.
free
Free
mod,
mod.
but
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
but they were pretty much telling people you have to buy Modern Warfare Remastered. You cannot play this. You cannot torrent this game. You cannot do anything else to play this game. So that's just like, that's the difference between this and like all the other previous mods, So Activision, in any other sense, it makes no sense of why they would cease and desist it right now either, because the only, I guess, reason they could have is it would be drawing players away from Modern Warfare 3, the current Call of Duty. That's about it. Their moneymaker right there. But I seriously, again, the sales that this generated. Let this be known that this game literally went from nothing to top 2 best-selling globally in the span of this past like 3 days, if anything.
Well, one thing to kind of point out, and again, it's scummy Activision bullshit, right? Activision is really good when it comes to like mods or like you know like in World of Warcraft when it comes to like mods or like UI mods or anything like that. They are really good about like taking somebody else's work and injecting it into their own stuff.
Oh,
Like they
yeah.
did a lot of that with the recent World of Warcraft UI mods, right? Like the
Yeah,
recent
man.
World of Warcraft entire UI was based off of a UI mod that's been around for years, right? So I'm wondering if they saw the popularity and were like, "Whoa, we got to do something about this. We need to do something in house," and that's why they did it.
I don't know.
Shitty thing to do, obviously. Still fucking completely.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Activision.
I
but-
don't
Yeah.
think so. Just because they've known the popularity of these things in the past. Now this
Yes, but
has
they've
been
never
the biggest
tangibly
one.
had the money in their hand from them
What do you mean? Oh, because this has generated sales.
because
is what
this
you're
is
saying.
this is generated sales.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah, maybe, very possibly, but I don't know, man. It just really is like a kick in the nuts is what this is too, because so many were excited, and like
Welcome
I
to
said,
Activision.
the eve of the release, it's just like boom, you're done.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough,
I don't
man.
know.
It's
Yeah.
it's sad to see that they weren't able to kind of
Yeah.
separate the two and be able to kind of play nice with the
And
mods.
To
But
tell you a little bit about the mod, what it was going to do too is really cool actually. I mean, like I said, it was going to pull guns from like Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. That was the game that never actually released a multiplayer mod. It was just a campaign, which everybody was already upset about that.
yeah,
So they were going to pull like the remastered assets from that. They were going to pull the maps, overhaul like visuals, everything. They were even going as far as pulling from Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare campaign maps and injecting that into making them multiplayer playable maps, which is really sick.
Yeah.
They were going to be adding their own custom skins with camo challenges and prestiges, new prestige system, new melee weapons with new specs, all for free unlockable, no MTX,
Yeah.
no nothing. It was
So-
all just free gameplay products.
so that's where I come in and I'm like, yeah, 100%. They are looking at this and like, we can make money off of this, right? If they do
Right.
that themselves,
And then they'll
all those
charge
all,
for
all
it.
that
Yeah.
all that free content that they're pulling, all those guns and all those those skins and everything like that, they're pulling from the version that didn't have a multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
That can then be put in a microtransaction store and they charge a couple bucks for each of them, right?
I don't
Like
know. I still just don't see them doing it because they put so much money and time into their new releases. I don't see them going back because
yeah, I don't know.
I see this being like the reason
It's
people want
the-
to play this is because it's nostalgic and it's
Well,
it's
it's-
free.
okay,
not
so-
free,
so-
but it's
Okay,
it's
so
not
look,
greedy. It's not like the new Call of Duties is. You
yeah,
know?
so look at it this way. For the longest time, when it came down to World of Warcraft Classic, they fought for ages with those
Mhm.
private servers, right? Look where they're
Oh,
at
yeah.
right now.
They're stealing everything
Right.
from them.
They're,
Yeah, no,
they took
for sure.
they took World of Warcraft Classic. They're now
Yep.
monetizing the fuck out of World of Warcraft Classic. People
Yep.
don't like it, but if you want to play World of Warcraft Classic, other than playing on private servers that could go down at any day because Activision will cease in the system, Blizzard will cease in the system. Your only option is going to Blizzard and paying the subscription for it, pretty much these days. So
yeah.
But like, why not?
That's-
Why not come in as a fucking like a good? I don't.
because it's Activision.
It's
What do you
not
mean?
just
Come in as a good
Activision,
guy for
it's
Activision.
fucking Microsoft, motherfuckers! It's Microsoft.
What are you talking
know.
about?
Like,
Come in
I-
for the good guy
Yes,
as Activision.
because
For the
what-
amount of time that we have been playing Activision games, you're gonna come with that.
I'm just saying that the fucking like dirtiness that we all know that Activision has, Microsoft could have come in and swooped in and done something fucking right. And I don't
mean,
get
sure,
why
they
we're
could've.
just sitting here being
I
like,
just don't think they had a hand in cease and desisting. I think they just didn't care what Activision
well,
did.
then you had a hand in it.
It's
like
still-
if you
it's
don't
still a
stop
bad
it,
Well,
look
yeah,
on the
I'm
parent
saying they
company,
weren't the
though.
one saying, "Hey, go take these guys down." You're our property now.
I don't know,
you
man.
know?
I think I also think that there's so like, yes, they were making money off this, but there is so much heat right now going down on you spent $70 billion on this shit.
Man.
We need to fucking make money. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is around the corner. You can't fucking have this happen. Like, go stop this now. I actually
The-
think that this is more of a fucking Microsoft play, because I think that if it was Activision, they would have shut this shit down a lot sooner. And what I think Microsoft was like, oh fuck, like wait a minute, like this, yeah, we're making some money, but this is gonna cause some problems. Shut it down now. Like shut it down now.
Nah.
Well,
I'm of the mind that regardless of them not making money off this or making money off of it, regardless of people fucking refunding for it, right, or not refunding for it, they're all up in arms right now. They're all like, oh, we need to fucking, this is bullshit. Get the pitchforks, you know, get the the torches and the pitchforks. They will be right there, day one, buying the next Call of Duty.
Of
whatever
course
it is,
they
6
are.
now.
Yeah.
they always do.
But I can't believe the world I'm in. I can't believe in chat I'm seeing Microsoft isn't the problem. Like what fucking world am I in right now that we're like I'm the
Well,
one
I
that's
mean-
fucking being like, fuck Microsoft. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
fuck
crazy.
Microsoft. We're not saying not fuck Microsoft right now. I just don't think this
wild.
was.
I just don't think that they had as big of a hand as you're stating that they
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
In it. I
Like,
really
yes,
don't
maybe
see
they didn't-
Microsoft being the ones that are like, fuck that modder, right? Like which we just barely found out about. Like I
Yeah.
don't think that's
I
the
just
case.
don't
this
get why-
this to me screams Activision.
Like you
Again,
said,
when
this
we
is
were
typical Activision. They've done this
Yeah,
many
when we
numerous
were-
times in the past.
when we were making the title of the fucking episode today, the title was still Bobby's World, right?
No, I get
Yeah.
it, but I'm
That's
just
what I'm
saying-
saying. Like this feels like something that Bobby would do. This feels like
Yeah.
Bobby's Activision.
Yeah, and I understand where everybody's coming from. And I was actually trying to be like fairly impartial about the whole Microsoft involvement. I was just curious about y'all's thoughts on it. It's one of those things where
I'm not saying that it isn't.
Yeah,
That-
no,
like that's my biggest thing.
I
but-
think Activision pulled the trigger on it and were
Yeah.
the pushers of this. But Microsoft standing around as the parent company of
Yeah.
Activision now, being a bystander and letting it go through.
No, I'll
that's a
I'll
shade of
completely
guilt as well.
Yeah, I'll completely
yeah.
agree with you that it looks bad. It definitely
yeah.
100% looks bad on Microsoft's play when they could have, like you said, they could have been the good guys. This could have been the good guy Microsoft play after they released the Hi-Fi Rush guys, right? They could have just been like, hey, we're gonna let you do the mod thing. We don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could
yeah,
100%.
You bring up Hi-Fi Rush, yeah. So let's talk. What the fuck? Oh my god, I hate websites. I swear to God, I hate the internet.
But they care about your privacy.
They care about my
Stop.
privacy. Yeah. So Microsoft. What again? We're now. I get you guys aren't letting Microsoft off the hook, but fuck, guys, Microsoft is not like they're not the good guys right now, and they fucking let a game like Tango Gameworks and Hi-Fi Rush. Be
Nobody
fucking
said they
shut
were.
down. I get it,
Yeah,
but why are we
absolutely.
giving them an out? Why are we giving them any kind of
We're
fucking
not.
credit for
we
being like?
literally
"Nah,
aren't. We
we
said
are.
that there's
We are.
likely.
Yeah, they did have somewhat of a hand, but we're just saying Activision was like the main
No,
provider.
fuck it. It's Microsoft's fault. It's fucking Microsoft. I'm
Jesus.
sorry. But
Either way,
anyway.
yes. Microsoft is not a good guy.
God damn it. Tango Gameworks and Hi-Fi Rush were acquired by PUBG's Krafton following Microsoft's studio closure.
Oh wait,
in May.
Activision Studio
Yeah, what
closure
if-
in May. Oh no, yeah, Microsoft.
Oh
Yes.
my
Bro.
gosh. Anyway,
Oh.
so at least somebody out there is making somewhat good decisions
Oh,
my
and
gosh.
allowing companies to be so
good
yeah,
guy Tango Gameworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Or-
Yeah,
no,
Krafton.
No,
Krafton,
Krafton's
Krafton.
got
Krafton.
Yeah,
no,
this is
good.
this is awesome. This is
Yeah,
really
This is
good.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they adopted
Good.
the whole company, employees and all. I'm assuming.
So it says they basically acquired the developer Tango Gameworks and the rights to Hi-Fi Rush, making marking the company's first significant investment in the Japanese video game market. So yeah, I believe under Microsoft Tango Gameworks, yeah, they launched it. Yeah, so they acquired the company, the whole thing.
Cool.
So,
Acquired the company,
Good
acquired
deal.
obviously the IPs with it, and they stated that they want to progress and come out with more IPs, and
So-
as well, I think continue
It's
Hi-Fi Rush.
interesting that Microsoft didn't hold the IP right.
Well, that's one thing that I was gonna say. I am not 100% sure on this, but I thought I had read something about the fact that like Ghostwire Tokyo is not like they still own the IP for Ghostwire Tokyo.
well, yeah. So they again, okay. The way that this works is that Tango Gameworks made games like the Evil Within, back in 2012 and or in 2010, and then in 2012, Bethesda, which is the parent company, ZeniMax, purchased Tango Gameworks, and then that was acquired by Microsoft, right? So they
Right.
acquired all of that. But
So
they
yeah,
did not get
this
the
is from-
rights to. They didn't get the rights to Ghostwire Tokyo or any of that kind of stuff.
Well, this is straight from this is a day ago. So Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo IPs are still
still,
staying with
that's
Microsoft
still
after
yeah, that's still
Okay.
Microsoft.
Crafton
They
is
own the rights to
Tango
those.
GameWorks purchase.
Hi-Fi
yeah.
Rush, they let them. They
Co-
let go.
Copyrights and stuff like that are so fucking weird because From Software has a similar thing with Sekiro and Bloodborne. So that's weird. Okay.
I mean, either way, like Hi-Fi Rush, just having Hi-Fi Rush, the ability to have Hi-Fi Rush 2, because we know that they were in the works of creating Hi-Fi Rush 2. They stated that
Yeah.
when they were let go. Having that as an ability to play now, and them having the ability to continue to developing it is huge.
Yeah.
Well, they were-
Just so we appease you, fuck
Oh my
Microsoft.
God.
for-
Thank you. I feel appeased.
oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, they were, like I said, they were literally in the middle of pitching Hi-Fi Rush 2. They were developing Hi-Fi Rush 2. Like, hopefully, we will
It's
get
sad,
Hi-Fi
man.
Rush 2. Like, and again,
I
Club-
can't see why we wouldn't.
and Crafton can
can't
sit
see
there and go,
why.
ha, 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 Microsoft, suck it. You know,
Yeah,
so
Pretty
Yeah.
pretty
It
big
would have
boy
been
move.
actually pretty dope if they got the Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo's IPs.
I love Evil
because-
Within, man.
Evil Within
Well,
is really
and-
good.
And in Ghostwire Tokyo, honestly, it's one of those games that like everybody trashed on and everybody said was terrible, but like the idea behind it and like the skeleton of it was
Yeah.
a really good foundation. Like it played decently if you
Just
if
poorly
you enjoyed that
executed,
style.
Unfortunately, I think
If you enjoyed the like Eastern horror
Yeah.
style of horror, it was really good.
I
so-
don't really see them doing anything. I think they've just are just gonna
Oh
hold
yeah,
on
no,
to that.
Ghostwire
IP.
Tokyo won't get a second one. Yeah,
They're not gonna put
Evil
the money into
Within
that.
will obviously, but
I think so.
Yeah.
But this is good news either way for Tango. Happy for them because they really got shafted big time.
hey, Crafton, there's a mod team that you could probably pick up that would probably make you can add some stuff into PUBG, would make it really good if you
Yeah,
want to
man.
give the bigger finger to fucking Microsoft. I'm sorry, Activision. Shit. Anyway, all right.
Goodness gracious.
Moving on.
I think you hate Microsoft more than most of the fucking Sony fanboys out there on Twitter.
it's just, yeah, I mean, I'm not happy with them right now. Yeah. It's,
Well,
it's-
when you're
uh,
passionate about something, you get hurt even harder than if you're indifferent. So I understand
Very
where he's
true.
coming from.
Very
you know
true.
what? Okay, I'm just gonna clear the air. It doesn't matter whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Sony, whether it's fucking Bungie or whatever. I don't like stupidity just for the sake of fucking greed. And that's
Yeah,
the thing
made-
that makes me mad.
made
Like,
sense.
this is like none of these decisions outside of obviously Craft and buying Tango Gameworks. I'm not talking about that, but like the other decisions to shut down these studios and do all this shit is sheerly out of pure fucking stupidity. And that's what makes me mad.
Agreed.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the
really
thing that makes
stupidity,
me
but greed. Yeah.
Greed.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and-
all of
and-
it. It's not. It doesn't take someone brilliant to be like, hey, let these mods go through. It doesn't take someone
No.
brilliant to be like, hey, don't fucking let Tango Gameworks go through. Or it doesn't take someone brilliant to fucking understand you just spent $70 billion. It's gonna take time for that shit to come back. Like, somebody should have known that. So yeah, stupidity fucking pisses me off. I don't care whether it's in the gaming space or anywhere else. It's fucking stupidity and it's dumb. Like, it just is annoying, frustrating. So, all right. Well, I'm going to take this down just to make sure this fucking site's not asking me for my fucking data anymore. And I can make sure, okay, it's not. Thank you, IGN. Can't believe I'm saying that. But anyway, IGN article is talking about Red Dead Redemption PC port appears to be imminent as PlayStation Store bizarrely says it's now on PC.
Very
Kind of
weird,
for
man.
the
Like,
PlayStation Store to be saying that. That's
yeah, so it's still only available for the console, right? Like, despite it launched back in
Yeah, it's-
2010 with a relaunch and everything like that, but like it's still only available on PlayStation, I believe. I don't know if
Believe
it's come
so.
over to Xbox. But yeah, like apparently the other day there was some kind of a glitch or something, like a Freudian slip, and it said available on PC now, which was. I mean, we already knew. Like, look, it's no fucking secret. We kind of already
Yeah.
knew it was fucking coming
Right.
out, right? Like, it's been the writing's been on the wall for months. You know,
Take Two's been having that a lot with many of their games, including like GTA, Red Dead Redemption, all of them. Like they really slip up on their, I don't know if it's their marketing or like their
They
store
got a
pages.
leak. They got a bug in the works.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So it also the PlayStation Store also stated that it will include the Undead Nightmare DLC with it as
Fuck
well.
yeah,
so.
dude.
Holy
you
shit,
kinda
that is
got
really?
to, but
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
you do kind of have to.
But
I would not
they
buy
didn't
both
say
of them,
anything
but
about that before, so
yeah.
that's exciting at least.
So this is actually pretty big. I mean, if you've never played Red Dead Redemption, obviously one of the most iconic games from back in the 80s or the 90s, right? Like for me at least, right? Like I fucking
The
love it.
90s.
Well, there was
80s,
Red
in
Dead
the
Gun
90s.
or
There was
whatever.
Red Dead Gun, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, like Red Dead Redemption 2, fucking masterpiece. Loved it.
Yeah.
But like one, I believe, was the better of the two games in my
The better
opinion, but-
story, I
Are
think.
you talking about Red Dead Revolver?
No,
Is that what it's called?
Dead
I thought whatever Red Dead
Redemption.
Revolver.
I know that, but the
was
original game, Red Dead
the original,
Revolver,
Yeah. It
that
like-
was in 2004. Did you say fucking 80s?
I thought that the Red Dead Redemption came out in the 90s, but
Red
could be
Dead
wrong,
Red
yeah.
Dead Revolver was
Early
2004. Red Dead
2000s,
Red Dead
I
Redemption
knew what you were
was
talking about, but
2010.
yeah, I think it was 2000.
Was it
early
2010?
2000s.
That's been a long
Yeah.
time, man.
I was like, wait,
But,
I've
so
got-
mean.
no, I just was like, wait a minute, is that game that fucking old? But
No,
I
yeah,
just-
no.
it feels like it. It fucking feels like it, but yeah, no.
I'm
Okay.
actually, I'm actually a bit more on board with this now because they did announce Undead Nightmare. I don't know if it's just me or maybe it's just a hot take, but I think Undead Nightmare is one of the best zombie games there is.
No,
I'm not
yeah,
even gonna lie.
100%.
It
Yeah.
is.
It was so
100%.
well done, and I wish it got its full, its own full-fledged game.
I wish that Red Dead Redemption 2 got it. Like they
Oh,
sat there
dude.
for years telling us, yeah, we
Seriously.
were thinking about it. You know, we're thinking about it. There was little
Shut
little
up,
Easter
dude.
eggs inside of the game as well. Like there's an actual Easter egg for like zombies and like cannibals and everything like that
Yeah, I remember
in the
seeing that.
actual game. So like they were hinting at it, but then they
Yeah.
never fucking did anything. That's the
Dude.
biggest thing that pisses me off about Rockstar is like they had such a good like bones. Again, I keep
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about bones, right? They had such a good foundation. They had such a good bone set with Red Dead Redemption 2. They just lacked the ambition or the drive to fucking do it.
Yeah,
right?
And then they put
Like
all
that
their efforts
game-
into GTA Online.
Exactly. That game could have been amazing if they would have put like an iota worth
Yeah.
of effort that they put into Red Dead or GTA Online.
Yeah,
right.
They even stopped caring
Would've been
about
amazing.
Red Dead Online. Like that game is
Yeah.
now
It's
pretty
done.
much
yeah.
dead because of hackers,
I mean, it was-
riddled with hackers and everything. That they've ruined
It
the
was
game.
it was fucking done even before they put it into maintenance mode. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
it's-
sad, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
We're sad. We're sad.
okay,
So
sad.
sad.
This is sad cast. This is just sad cast.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
All right.
sad
it really
boys.
is.
All right, let's move on to something else that's probably pretty sad, and I'm assuming that it may actually I know it's not Randy Pitchford because Randy Pitchford came out with a tweet talking
Yeah.
about this shit. Whoo boy.
Gosh,
Any Borderlands fans here?
called this shit, did we not?
Yeah.
called it,
Yes.
Yeah.
I have so many issues with this film, and I
By-
haven't seen that.
by the way,
I
real-
don't want to support the film because of how cash grabby it is, but it's so
Do Bill, do not go see this film.
By the way, really
No, I
really
don't plan
quickly,
to.
really quickly before whoever the fuck keeps fucking copyright striking our shit when it comes to Borderlands 2 movie, fuck you. Don't do it. We don't have anything on the screen.
But it's
That's funny.
16 million out of it's 60 mil shy of
60
breaking
million
even?
shy of breaking
Yeah.
even. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah.
That's
No,
the
you-
cherry
you-
on
you
top
wanna
of the
know-
cake, though.
You want to know the worst part is like if they would have just not cast Kevin Hart, we would have been there. 16
No.
million.
No,
Jamie Lee
no,
Curtis wasn't the
no.
right
They're
casting
spending that-
for-
Or
There are
Jack
fun-
Black, you know?
There are
No,
fundamental
Jack Black
flaws
was probably
with the
the
film.
only acceptable cast, dude.
I'm
Are you talking
aware.
about the cost
but,
of the cast?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm
Oh,
aware,
you're-
but the cast,
okay.
the cost of all the high list, like the A-list
Uh,
actors,
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, fucking Jack Black. I can't remember what the old lady's name was.
Jamie Lee
but
Curtis.
she's an
Jamie Lee
A-list.
Curtis,
Yeah, Jamie Lee
yeah.
Curtis.
Oh no,
Like
not
all
not
three
the-
of those,
Yeah.
all three of those, I guarantee you were like 60, 70 million, man.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, dude. I mean, it was just a terrible casting decision all around.
And, like,
It's not even the casting;
No,
it's the
it's-
writing too.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
minor spoilers if you haven't
I
seen
haven't
the
even
Borderlands
seen or heard of the writing,
movie
so I
or
just
have any care to. But
imagine it's got awful.
it's has nothing to do with any of the games, which
Yeah, I've
is
heard it's like a
fine.
complete
Gen-
offshoot.
Genuinely,
Right. I mean,
I like movies to be their own
yeah,
thing.
just like the Fallout series, they did it perfectly. I think doing their
But-
own story.
this also has no respect for the source material whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
If you're
That's
gonna
the
do your
problem.
own game or own movie and like own like setting, at least keep the universe intact. At least respect that, like
Yeah.
The Last of Us did, like Fallout
Yeah.
did. This barely has anything to do with the Borderlands universe outside of
Yeah.
the characters and looking for a vault. There's no like gun companies fighting wars with each other.
Yeah.
There's like even the casting, like the characters that they chose were cherry picked just to kind of do.
well, it was name. It was name
Yeah, it was
recognition.
for-
That was
it
the
was
only
for
reason
the
why they were
name.
picked.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no Brick, there's no Mordecai. This doesn't follow like the origin story of the
Yeah.
original Vault Hunters. Krieg has no reason to be there because his whole arc is based on Maya, which is in Borderlands 2.
Which isn't
like,
even around yet. Yeah.
from what I understand, Tiny Tina is a completely different character. I don't know why they called her Tiny Tina outside of the namesake because she is a completely different character from what the games have her as. So
Yeah.
it's fucking weird, man. And
We called it when we talked about it
Yeah.
when they had that original teaser trailer or whatever. That again, we got fucking copyright strike. Don't do it. I'm looking
Yeah.
at you, whoever's out there. Don't do it.
yeah,
You're probably
And
like
like
Randy,
Chat's-
Randy himself.
and like what Chat's saying, it needed the R rating as well instead of being the PG-13.
What
Is
Like,
it
I don't know how you-
PG-13? Wow.
I
didn't
don't
know
know how
that.
you can do a Borderlands movie and make it PG-13.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, seriously.
that's like making a fucking Deadpool movie. PG-13. There was
Yeah.
no way that was gonna work, dude.
Actually,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
Deadpool
I-
did. Actually,
the-
Deadpool did that, and it did well. It did really well. But they
Well,
did
yeah,
it the
they-
Deadpool way.
but it was better in R.
It was
Yeah,
better
Of
with
course,
R.
but yeah.
Yeah.
I,
But
but yeah, that-
either way, it should have been R.
I agree with you. That was my biggest sentiment with the whole entire thing when I found out that they weren't that, like it was a completely different like storyline and everything like that. I'm just like we've had game or video game adaptations recently that did this, right, where they just completely offshoot from what the actual source material is. It
Yeah.
never fucking works ever.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
than
You gotta-
Fallout,
you gotta-
but
you gotta
again,
keep-
like as long as like
Well, no,
Fallout,
I mean,
the biggest
Fallout was a
thing
different
with
story, but
Fallout.
it kept
Yeah.
canon. It didn't
That's what I was trying to
stray
say is,
from,
like,
lore.
Fallout kept very rigid to the actual lore and the whole
Yeah.
idea behind Fallout, right? Like it might have been a completely different story, but like it was still centered in the Fallout world.
And it was
This is
confirmed they
completely
didn't
out there.
retcon anything either. So that's the problem
Yeah.
with like a lot of video game adaptations is like they'll drop like canon, they won't go with canon,
Yeah.
and then they'll retcon shit, you know.
Yeah.
So
And
Yeah,
I
that's-
was honestly thinking that there might be something to this, like something worth going to see, like the old Mortal Kombat movies or the old Resident Evil movies
Yeah,
with Mila Jovovich. Like I was thinking, okay, maybe it's gonna be so bad that it's entertaining, or like
Right.
have like some self-aware bullshit with it.
Like some fourth wall
it-
breaking.
Yeah, it's
not even that.
It's not. It's just a
No,
bad
it's
movie.
just bad. It's just bad. I'm again. I'm not spoiling anything. Not telling anything about the story. I've not seen it, but I've listened to many people that have watched it. Like that, like story beats are not there. Everything is very like edited, extremely weird. The director of this
Yep.
is notoriously like a horror film director. And the way that he shot things were like shot for
That's
that.
weird.
Yeah, wait, who was the
and not
director of this? Do you know?
No,
Did it
not
say?
off the top, not off the
Oh,
top of
okay.
my head. But in any
As
case,
far as-
like
It was
as far as
Eli
editing
Roth.
goes, I heard that there was actually like in the final edit of the film, like the audio is like bad. Like there's some scenes where like audio is going, characters' mouths not moving. Like there's
Yeah.
desyncs in like the voice
There's a
acting and
whole
stuff.
scene where there's like they're
Weird.
opening a grate on the ground, and you see one of the like not the cast members, but one of like the
the
helpers or
assistants
whatever,
hand.
the assistants opening like help them open the gate in the crack of it. So like it's just
Well, see,
obviously didn't go through any QA or
I
anything
wish-
like that.
I wish that if it was going to be that way, because like Borderlands is a weird universe, right?
They are.
And I could 100% see that, like playing that kind of shit off as like the weird kooky bullshit that happens in Borderlands. Like, oh, we're doing a great, and somebody else that's off screen has to help us with it. They could have played that off as
Well, yeah, you
like
get
Borderlands
fourth wall, yeah.
fuckery,
Yeah,
right?
fourth round,
Like,
yeah.
they
Yeah.
could have 100% done that, but they didn't. And it's entirely just down to the fact that they didn't care. This was just a money grab, and fortunately, it didn't grab
Yeah,
as much money as they thought.
It really is weird though. You mentioned the director. It's Eli Roth, and he made Hostel, The Green Inferno, many other like Cabin Fever.
Yeah, it's all horror shit. Like he is known for
How?
horror.
That is very strange. man.
Where was the decision making of putting him in lead and director for this movie? That makes absolutely no sense.
Well,
I don't know.
again, it makes sense if you go down the route of name dropping. They were probably
But
like,
there's
"Hey,
still
we got a
way
really
better-
good
way
fucking,
better names who are known for actual like comedy.
But they spent all their shit on the fucking actors.
They took anybody they can get with the director. Like, oh, we got the actors. Let's just pull any fucking director who's
Yeah.
made a movie.
I don't know. It's not good.
Yeah.
But let's move on to something that is good. So Steam, right, or Valve is opening up their OS to the Asus ROG Ally and I believe actually
I
some
think other
handheld-
stuff as well.
Yeah, other
Good guy
handhelds.
Valve.
So
That is wild. So this is like you're going to be able to run the Steam Deck version of Linux on all these devices, right?
On all these
that's what
devices, yeah.
they're.
correct.
So
yeah.
That is
Nice.
so
This
cool,
is-
dude.
This has been something that I've been saying for a long time. Like ever since Valve went into wanting to do. You remember the Steam PC that they wanted to make?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Long
forgot
ass
about
fucking
that.
time ago
Yeah.
to combat what was it?
Or the
Alienware, I
Steam
think,
console.
right? Yeah. I've been saying from the start that like they literally all their operating systems, their big picture mode, they just need to make themselves into an OS system, like an OS operation.
It seems like
you know,
that's what they're
or-
doing. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because like give me like Steam OS with the ability to run my games, without having to go through Windows, right? Make it so that it's like Linux, so that it's very not very resource intensive, right? Give me the ability to install things that I want to when it comes down to like video editing software, everything like that. And I would go with Steam OS any day of the week, man. I don't like that would be amazing. Getting out of Windows would be fucking amazing, dude.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
the big thing that like the Asus ROG Ally actually from a system perspective comparable to the Steam Deck is a powerhouse. Like that system is
Yeah.
actually really fucking good.
Yeah, huge.
The biggest
Yeah.
downfall was the software.
Yeah.
So like being able to be like, hey, fuck it, I'm gonna load up the Steam OS, and have that be able to run my Steam
Yeah.
games. It's a lot better. Now again, you still
I'm-
have to deal with Windows, but
I'm really hoping that at some point they do release just their Steam OS to download so that people can use it. Like, yeah, you're still gonna have to piggyback it off of like Windows, unless they somehow make an actual OS, which I hope that they do. That'd be awesome.
That would be
Um,
really cool.
That would be crazy.
But if they ever did just release it as an OS, I would 100% switch to it. So I hate Windows, dude. This bullshit with Copilot that they've pushed into Windows 11 without anybody's asking for it is ridiculous.
well, I mean the Steam OS is already a Linux based operating system. So like
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
you can
I mean, you could
pop it off
you could
that, yeah.
technically piggyback off of Linux if that's
Yeah.
the case. So
So, I mean, they could do it, but this is huge. Like this is great, and I mean,
it's the first step.
I've been now, even because of my PlayStation, been using my Steam Deck to play my PlayStation games like in my bed or whatever else. But like
Better than that $200 piece of crap.
oh yes,
The
the Asus
Which
ROG
is selling
app-
really well, by the way.
I was close, man. I was this close until Will told me about
No,
that. Then I was
stop.
like real close to buying one. But
Just call me
no,
Will.
Bill, whatever, same thing. It's the same thing, just a different letter. Fuck
Who
it.
you were talking about? I thought I had
It's-
somebody else.
Bill, actually,
Wilson.
somebody at work is named Will, so that's I think Freudian slip of the brain. But
It's okay. People at work call me Will, so I'm down for it.
But I was willed into just using my Steam Deck by Bill. There you go. Does that work?
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
English.
I mean, I would like a Asus ROG Ally over my Steam Deck because of the fact that it is a little bit easier to like sideload shit, make things work because
Yeah.
it is running the Windows software.
Right.
And I could just use the Steam OS for running games. Like that would be
Yeah.
nice for that. So but Valve they didn't necessarily, it's not all good in Sunflowers. It's more, this is not bad. This is kind of more like question mark. Valve's got a new game out. It's in early access to, I don't know, it's actually not early access.
It's not even
It's like-
announced
it's a-
yet,
it's a-
really.
it's so the game we're talking about is Deadlock, by the way.
Yeah.
And
We talked about it once before.
You did
Yes.
mention
Long
it. Yeah,
time,
it was
like,
leaked
yeah,
a while
while
ago.
ago.
long time ago we talked about it. But now courteous, this comes to us from The Verge, by the way. But they launched a playtest that we cannot confirm or deny that we are in. But even if we were, we're not allowed to talk about it. But yet somebody fucking basically just had a bunch of footage of it, leaked it, and then now kind of
game's
opened the
been getting
floodgates.
leaked. It's
Yeah,
like,
well, Valve is a little pissed.
Yeah.
You know, rightfully so, because you do, by the way, I'll scroll down here. You do have to accept this. It says Deadlock is still in early development with a lot of temporary art
Yep.
assets. Do
Yeah.
not share anything about the game with anyone, right? But I find it funny that like this one person that leaked like the gameplay and all that kind of stuff got into a shitstorm. But then you have companies like this and websites that are this like, well, fuck it. I guess if they did it, we can do it, right? Because
oh yeah,
I actually think there is a law that states that like if something like that is released, then it kind of opens the floodgates more to basically saying like you are allowed to you can warrant by saying this is my money, like this is how I earn, you know, money. So The Verge could basically say, hey, because this is my livelihood, I need to be able to talk about this, because if I don't, then I'm at detriment or whatever, which I think that's the law that they are using to be able to release all of this stuff. But that's now becoming a thing. So now everyone's kind of
Well,
like,
it's,
hey,
it's,
hey
it's,
guys.
it's journalist. It's journalistic. I don't know what the exact term for it is, but like journalists, just like trials that aren't supposed to be leaked. When they leak, right? Journalists can still report on it. You know.
Yeah, I just I don't know, like the I don't like the verbiage that they're using here, where they're basically saying I am not under NDA. I have signed no contracts. I've made no verbal agreements. I'm not even clicked EULA, and I'm like, yeah, you did. Like that little pop up right there, that is technically an agreement saying
Yeah.
that you're not going to
Yeah.
talk
It is.
about it. So,
It's not. It's not. Like, I mean, it is legally
It would be-
binding, but it's
yeah,
it's like it's a gray area, you know. It's like it's not
it'd be
really
rough
a
to hold up
fucking
in court.
contract, but
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so what you guys have seen, have you got any thoughts on this? Like, I don't.
I mean, I watched a little bit of that gameplay. It I don't know, man.
looks a little rough. I'm
It does, yeah.
interested, but I don't know yet, and until I eventually until I get hands on, and I don't want to say
Yeah.
when I will. I don't know when I will, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've watched the
That's-
footage. I'm not
think-
that impressed with it at
Yeah,
all.
that's
Like,
all.
I think
That's
it's, I think
like
it's good though, because we do need more games in this genre of like the third person MOBA, like kind of like Smite and like I mean people comparing it to Overwatch.
Bro,
but
there-
Overwatch
there's-
isn't a MOBA.
okay, go play Paragon. Go play fuck. Have you? Like,
I never liked Paragon or any of the other
I'm just saying,
predecessors.
there's plenty of games in this genre.
Hero,
like,
whatever it was.
you know, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Paladins.
No,
that
I
was
mean, there's
what I
not
was
too
looking for.
many. There's
Bro, there's a fair amount of
handful.
third person fucking MOBAs, and I mean
Well,
this.
I
is
mean,
more,
let's be real. This is basically like Marvel Rivals. I mean, Marvel Rivals copied this game 100%. So
what the fuck? What are you talking
I
about?
think
Nothing-
he's
No, they
got to be
didn't.
joking there.
I don't know.
Um,
I think do you think that they should open this up to the rest of the fucking, like, just be like, fuck guys, there's
I mean,
20,000 people playing the game. It's already out
Once it's
there.
been
Just
leaked,
fucking
yeah.
open
Yeah.
it. Just what are you doing?
once it's already out there, just fucking open it
And
up.
Yeah.
honestly, I don't even think I think this like whole it's being leaked, it's being this and that. I think it's all just tactics to like stir commotion and be like. I feel like
It's-
they're going to just launch the game eventually.
It's
after
fucking
all
hate
this.
clicks. It's
Yeah.
like yeah, they're getting plenty of fucking like
They're getting so
I
much
can't-
traffic from all
I
of
can't
this.
I can't state that they wanted this to happen, but like it is
I
a
don't
good
know.
thing that it's happened. You know, like
I
it
think it
draws
was-
people to the game.
I think it was their idea because also why would they like all of a sudden release so many keys to like over thousands and thousands of people? Like there's guaranteed people are going to like leak all the shit. It was already been leaked before and
Well,
it was
from-
like leaked in
well,
like
from what
early builds too.
Well, from what I've heard and from what I've been reading, the way that people get the keys is like you get an invite from somebody that has access.
Right. And then
So,
it
like,
just keeps going.
You can literally just give somebody access to
Exactly.
it essentially. It's weird. Like I was saying the same thing when me and Sin were talking about it. I was like, if you're gonna just offer it up to anybody just to be able to offer it up to their friends or offer it up to just random play people, just fucking lift the NDA. Like,
Yeah,
what?
I don't know, man.
That's-
X Defiant did the same thing. They were just like nobody fucking, and there they were
You
like,
can
close
look
your
through it,
blinds.
close your blinds. Yeah.
I
No,
complained
but,
about X Defiant's NDA too. Like, it was fucking dumb.
Yeah. But no, I honestly I think it's like their tactic or whatever, just to stir commotion and get the eyes on this game.
Yeah,
Very
so I
possible.
don't know. It's weird. I at this point just open
is
the
weird.
fucking game up. Like open it
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
Let
Why
us
wouldn't
talk
they?
about it. So, hey Valve, don't come after us. We just produced the site
We're just-
that produced the shit.
We're just being
So,
journalists.
Yeah, we're just
Right.
talking
Promise.
about them. So, all right. Well, we'll just,
we just play video games a little bit better than journalists.
let's keep
Just a
talking
little bit.
about kind of the community and backlashing and taking a stand. So Helldivers 2 cannot catch a fucking break. Just saying. They are in some shit and they don't know how to get out of
No.
this shit. And they've released a 60-day plan, supposedly to kind of placate the shit that they're in.
I don't understand how they continue to go wrong after the Sony stuff, but
It's just
They
it's one of those situations of like you know how when you get into a wreck, right, or like you have a wreck on the side of the road, 9 times out of 10 somebody else is going to have a wreck, right, because they're looky-loo and they're like, oh my god, what happened? They ran into somebody else, right? This is just the exact opposite of like the train wreck happened and we're still dealing with the repercussions from the train wreck, right? Like the train still hasn't all the way got there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
I think that they're just trying to scramble to fucking fix all the bullshit that happened with the Sony stuff and everything that happened prior to that. Cause like honestly, like the whole situation right now isn't anything to do with really the Sony
No,
situation.
it's
right?
past
them
That's-
nerfing things
that's
into the
gone.
ground,
Yeah.
right? Like finally,
This-
finally
yeah, this-
killing it.
Yeah, this is all to do with the fact that like I mean, it is a lot to do with that, right? But it's also a lot to do with like they pushed out this new update, this new big update. I can't remember what it was called. Escalation of Freedom update, right? And they posed this new update. We talked about it last week on the podcast, right? They posed this new update as like something that's going to be like drastically change the entire way that you play the game. It's going to be huge. There's going to be so many changes. When we got it, there really wasn't a lot to it, right? Like they really we got a war bond and a couple of changes and then a shit fucking ton of nerfs, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And that's
I
where
heard
people
they added
got pissed.
they added fire resistant armor, like the first fire resistant armor
They-
set, but
they
they
added
also nerfed every flame weapon in
Not-
the game.
Yeah, not only that, the entire war bond was based off of flames, right? So there was a flamethrower in the war bond,
Gotcha.
and then they nerfed flamethrowers and flame.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
Perfect.
it made no sense,
bad
man.
idea, I
It
told you.
really, yeah, it really makes no fucking sense,
a
dude.
lot
And
of
this
this
was-
like this
Go ahead.
backlash is definitely stemming, and like you just said, like it is like a train wreck, and all the
Yeah.
previous cars are now catching up. It does stem a lot from that, just because like when that initially happened, their player base plummeted, and
Well-
that threw off the entire foundation of what this game
Yeah.
was built
Oh,
off
so
of.
let-
Talk
talk about
was
and
this
now
whole
we're
stuff.
now we're seeing the nerfs, and we're seeing less populated, worlds and battles, and people are
Okay, yeah,
losing.
this
and
is
and now is this going? Do we have also in here the article about pretty much people are just letting bots over?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
what we're talking about.
I was
now.
I was
Right now.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
I was
talk
gonna
about
say
it.
the
Yeah,
same
that was
thing.
what I was
And
gonna talk
that
about.
goes
just
into
barely.
this now, where people are like, we're over it, we're tired of these nerfs.
Yeah.
We're gonna let the fucking new Earth burn. Or
Yeah,
whatever
so-
it is.
So
you
right
know.
now, the major order for the game right now is to basically put the robots, the bots have pushed to within 1 square of Super Earth, right?
Yeah.
Essentially what that means is, and from what I can understand, I don't know if this is like a mechanic inside of the game or whatnot, but like if that happens, the game is done.
The game's
Like
over.
Wait,
if Super Earth
what is this?
if Super Earth gets taken over,
yeah. It's game
there's no
over,
more
man.
there's no more Helldivers, right?
Dude.
Like
Yeah.
It's just,
So,
well, game's gone.
essentially-
Hey, if they deleted all, everybody just deletes it off their fucking system. It's gone. You
Yeah.
don't have it
So-
anymore. You don't have access to it. Sorry.
So
Bye.
essentially,
Yeah.
what people are saying, I don't know if this is like a large number of the player base, but this is a vocal
No, it's
minority of the player
big.
base that are stating, well, if they're just going to continue nerfing the game, and they're just going to continue nerfing gameplay, fun gameplay mechanics. You know,
To prolong.
continue nerfing this to prolong whatever.
Yeah.
We don't even know why they're nerfing
We
this,
don't
right?
know,
Like
but
that's the biggest.
that's my
that's the-
assumption right there.
That's the biggest issue that we have with it is like this is not a PvP game.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no reason why you should be nerfing these things based off of that. Like it's a PvE game. It's already hard enough
Yeah.
with the good guns. Like it's
I
not
can
like
only imagine
having
it's
a
to prolong
non-nerfed.
the battles and the fights, so they don't have to
Yeah.
like constantly
It's-
come out with new. What are they
it's-
called? The missions.
War bonds
Yeah,
and
with
stuff.
the war,
War-
the
yeah,
weekly stuff. Yeah, the global orders. But it's not like
That yeah.
the game is made
No.
easy mode when it comes down to like these pre-nerfed weapons, right? So people don't understand that, but basically what they're stating is like if they're gonna just continue nerfing this, there's no reason to fucking play the game.
Yeah.
Let's just end it. Like just let
That's
the boss take
hilarious.
over Super.
That
Yeah.
is awesome.
I hope that happens, and I want to see that happen. And like, what then do you think is the
I'm
next step?
yeah, I'm
Like,
curious what happens if
Would
that
the game
happens.
just reset? Like, is that like a big
Yeah.
reset?
That's what I
button?
think they
I-
have to do is do a reset
they're-
of
Well,
some
and
type.
So
they've already
right.
they've already stated that they're going to be like one of the biggest things is like in that 60-day thing is like they're going to continue re-examining their approach to balance, which this is all legalese or whatever you want to call it. This is all blowing smoke up the player base's
Yeah.
ass essentially to get them to be happy with them, right? They're going to update how the fire damage mechanic works to tweak how flamethrowers serve as a close range support weapon. They want to rework gameplay to prevent excessive ragdolling, which is a huge issue right now with the new enemy for the bugs. Like that new enemy puts their head down into the ground and then the tentacles pop up. If you get hit by that, you get sent flying miles.
That's
Miles.
hilarious.
That's crazy.
Like miles, dude. Like you can get pushed out of bounds so far that there's no way that you can get back into the bounds, right? So you're fucked. You're done. There's no way to get back in there, right? So they want to reprioritize bug fixes so that more immediate gameplay impacts bugs are prioritized. They want to improve game performance, frame rate as a focus, a huge focus. That is a really big focus they need to work on. They need to they want to rework chargers, which have needed rework for a while now. And they want to explore creation of an opt-in beta environment, which mind blown, right? Let's make a fucking test server so that people can test these fucking patches before we implement them and piss off our entire player base. That's crazy, right? I don't know what other games have ever done that other than literally every fucking MMO, the existence of MMOs.
So get this though. I honestly, if say Super Earth burns, the game resets. If that is actually like what happens when the game ends, if the game ends, whatever. I think the community and the player base is actually doing the right thing and know what's right for the game. I think that is a way of saving the game, is just hitting that reset button, starting afresh. Your foundation's fucked as it is right now. I think
Yeah.
that is the way to fix this game and bring it back, is start anew, build it up again from where you want it and not let fucking Sony in again. Like, dude.
Well, and yeah, and again, like this has nothing to do with Sony. Like Sony fucked us on an entire.
They
another
just
level,
they
right?
were the initial
This is-
like
yeah,
propulsion
this
into
is
this is now them on them.
this is them. This is the developers. Yeah, this has nothing to
Yes.
do with Sony. Sony is not the one that are nerfing our fucking weapons.
Guys,
No.
This is the
Yeah.
developers.
what fucking world am I on where now Enigma is defending Sony? What the fuck is happening? Oh my god.
Oh shit!
Oh
I just
my
just
gosh.
want to make it clear. Like,
We're all, you know what?
I just
We're
want
part
to
of
make
the,
it clear.
We're part
Like,
of the fucking multiverse, and like this
I-
shit's part of the MCU, and they're Thanos snapping fucking Super Earth, and it's gonna be a reset. He's a variant. I'm a variant. I'm not even real.
Oh shit! No, like I said, I just want to make it abundantly clear that like this is on the developers. Like I want to
Yeah.
hold the developers accountable. Like this is the problem that we've had with these developers from
Sony
the
had
start.
their
Is like
fuck up. This is just
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
continuation.
This
by
is-
that.
this
not
is just
even
a
to dismiss.
continuation
we
of the
also held
developer
the
bullshit.
developer accountable in that Sony fuck up too. They
Yeah,
had,
when
they
they-
held,
yeah.
had a hand in that as well. But now the ball was in their court to fix the game, and they have done nothing
Yeah.
of that sort.
Well,
What
they're
do you
trying,
think
but
about
yeah.
that though? That like reset idea? Because if that's what the community is actually trying to do, in my mind, I'm like,
So-
that actually might be the play.
So I can see where you're coming from with it. The problem that I have with that is just like moving back to the start. We don't have the player base that we had at the start,
Well,
right?
no,
So
but
like
right now
that,
you don't have a player base to combat the global orders and all the.
Oh, we do. We have they've adjusted the players, and obviously if they reset everything, they can adjust the global orders when it comes down to like we won't have those
Right.
huge global orders like we had at release.
I just think
right?
it'd be a bit more balanced on a fresh
I-
wipe.
I personally think that if they're going to go down that route, and we talked about this last week on the podcast with Tony, myself and Tony play it quite a bit, right? I personally think that if they're going to fucking do that, and that's what happens is like they reset the entire world, they need to release the Illuminate, which is the other faction, the shielded faction. Instead of the robots, it needs to be a we're no longer going against bugs and robots, we're going against
Yeah.
bugs and Illuminate, right?
Yeah.
There needs to be something new,
For
right?
sure.
We
I
can't just go
think that
back to
would
the
be
same bullshit.
That would be
right?
good too. Yeah, no, for sure.
That
both
I
of those
think
in
that would be a
conjunction, yeah.
huge win. That would be a huge win if they can go back on their nerfs, which they've already said that they want to. They want to revert all the nerfs and go back to base one, right?
Yep.
Which is it's good. They shouldn't have fucking done it to begin with, but that is a good thing that they're willing to revert it. Give
Yeah.
us something new.
Yeah.
And if we fuck up the entire world and we have to restart it, give us something new, and I think the entire player base would be more happy than just
I think
going back
so.
to what it was.
I think it'd be
They
in a
would-
better state
they
than it
could
is
even
now.
They could even lore build it with the robots
Yeah.
winning. So why would
Yeah.
the robots be in the
Very true.
alternate universe that they're putting through? So
And honestly, they could even again just like that brings up a really good point. Like they could lore build it as like, yeah, Super Earth got taken over, but the Illuminate came in and took over Super Earth from the robots, and now we have to take Super Earth back from the Illuminate. Right?
Something like
that
that,
could be
you know, man.
huge. That
Yeah.
could be the biggest fucking like playing point for everybody when it comes down, because I Helldivers love the game. Like we as a player base fucking love the game. We wouldn't be this passionate about the game if we didn't love the game, right?
Right.
Mhm.
So like it's not like we're stating fuck Super Earth because we don't want to play the game. We're stating fuck Super Earth because at this point we don't have any other way of combating
Something
this,
needs to
right?
change, you know?
I think it's dope.
Giving
I think
giving
so.
us
Protest.
some reason to go back to it would be huge, I think.
Protest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
protest it. That's great. I think it's awesome.
Fuck Microsoft.
Yeah.
I mean Helldivers.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Microsoft's
Yeah.
fault. This all is Microsoft's. Microsoft's pulling the strings behind the shadows.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, that is all of the news that we've got, but we're going to move into our quick hit section, which this is articles that things that we again want to kind of highlight, but not super talk about. So a couple quick hits. We've got Chernobyl Light 2 has been announced, which I was actually shocked that game is 3 years old. I don't know why I thought that game was
Yeah,
like newer than that,
I'm
but
shocked that they actually were coming out with a sequel. I mean, it's a solid game. I played
Yeah.
it a fair bit. It's fun.
yeah, so kudos to them on
Yeah.
that announcement.
Keeping it going.
Vampire Survivors is finally coming to PS4, PS5 on August
That's pretty dope.
29th. Again,
Yep.
kudos to
Hell
one
yeah.
guy, one
Yep.
fucking guy, one little guy.
dude.
Game costs like
Guy's
$1 or some shit,
killing
whatever
it,
else.
bro.
Like, congrats to him. If you do play
It's
Diablo,
free on mobile too.
yes,
It is. I played on
oh,
mobile.
yeah, it's free. Yeah. So Diablo 4 trading has been disabled due to a Season 5 exploit. So,
Dude,
Nobody
I-
was
I-
surprised. Every
yeah.
season, every exploit. Let's go.
yeah,
Just
so-
Like
just want to
clockwork.
point this out. This is like the 4th season that they've had to completely
Yeah,
do away with
yep.
with trading because
Yep.
of this shit. Like you would think 4 seasons later they would
Nah.
figure that shit.
nope.
Nah.
Dead Island 2 is getting an update, adding New Game Plus free and a free co-op horde mode. So that's pretty
Wow,
dope.
New Game Plus now?
Yeah, well,
Yep.
you know, hey.
That's a bit
um,
surprising. The free co-op horde mode is
Yeah, that's
interesting though.
dope. But
That's
yeah,
pretty sick.
New Game Plus this late in the game.
Yeah.
Better late
Um,
than never, I suppose.
Witchfire is coming to Steam Q4. Skull and Bones is getting season 3, but not the 5v5 PvP mode that we promised because they
Yeah.
need more time on that. Meta has closed down Ready at Dawn, which was the people that made the Echo VR game. So that is sad.
Oh,
Steam released a new way to review games. Definitely
Fuck
helpful,
yeah.
but a lot of people are saying it's
So-
not very fun.
I was about to say. So they released a new way to do it, but it's actually worse than the old way of doing it. Apparently, like they
don't
don't have it
really-
completely reworked. Like that now it's filtering out too much. Like it's supposed to filter out like emojis and just like stupid reviews that are like 10 out of 10 would do, play with my duck again or something like that, right? It's filtering that shit out, but it's also
There's
filtering out
one
like
letter away from being
good
very
reviews.
bad.
So,
Gotcha.
um,
So
but there you go. That's it. That is all the
Hell yeah.
news. That's all the video games that we have played. And that is episode 132 wrapped up for you. If this is your first show, well, we appreciate you being here. If this is your first show listening to us in one of your podcasting apps, join us live. We do this live every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and on Twitch. You can go to Pre-Patch Podcast on Twitter and find us there to get to our different shows and links. We're on Shorts, we're on TikTok. You can pretty much catch us everywhere. You can go to our Discord, join the community
We're
there.
even on Facebook.
Are we
We
on
are
Facebook? I didn't know
Yes.
that.
We're on Facebook.
I didn't know. Okay, boomer. Apparently we're on Facebook as well. But yeah, that's the show. Obviously you can catch all of us live when we go live. Myself over on Twitch and YouTube is obviously Sinan. We've got Billy_the_squid, SKWID over on Twitch and YouTube. We've got Agent Scruffy on Twitch and
YouTube.
And YouTube. Actually, Bill, I stand corrected. You are just solely YouTube. I want to make sure I get that correct. Like you're not on
I'm
Twitch
gonna start trying to duo stream now that I have now I'm on new internet, so I'm gonna give it a try. So
Okay.
Multi-stream, you mean?
There you
Twitch,
go.
Twitch will be a thing until
Nice.
it's not. So
Nice. Cool.
That
Um,
is-
And then you can catch Enigmatical Gaming is where you can find Enigma over on Twitch. But for the Pre-Patch Podcast crew, so 132, we're out of here. Y'all have a nice one. We'll see you next time. Bye.
much
Oh,
later,
see
everybody.
Later.
Installation